Good evening, folks, and welcome to Dice&Decks Presents Session 11. The Sorry We've Missed You, or Sorry It's Been a While edition. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Joe, our grill master. We do have a new person on the call tonight, and we'll just get started. Over to you, Joe.
All right, and it is, yes, we have missed you as well. I'm going to add to that because I think that it's been too long, and I appreciate having new people and everybody else that we have had as sort of our regulars come on. So I always appreciate everybody hanging out with us. So tonight we have Kyle here with us, and he is new. Welcome, Kyle. Welcome to our Hangout. How are you doing tonight?
Having fun and enjoying, panicking a little bit because I realize I'm already 2 days behind on schoolwork.
Oh, well, that's not a good thing, but hopefully we can get caught up.
Oh, I will. It's not hard. I'm in 200 level classes, man.
Okay. Should be all right then.
Yeah.
Well, I give you a little bit of introduction as far as what we do, obviously. We just hang out and have a good time and talk about the things that we enjoy, which, for us is a lot of role-playing games and hobby games and that kind of thing. So hopefully you have a good time with us. We do like to start off with the grilling session as it's been coined. So as just kind of like to jump into things, I just have a list of questions that we get you grilled on. So first question is, what got you into D&D or tabletop gaming?
Actually, my buddy that used to live across the street from me, we were in Shelby, North Carolina, of all the blooming places we could be. And his brother had all, literally everything you can imagine for second edition back in the day. This is 94, so this is like heyday. And he ran an adventure for us, and he purposely made it as his mission to make me as miserable as possible in it. And no matter how hard he tried, I still loved it.
Excellent.
And I've been playing it ever since.
Awesome.
I try a little bit of everything, so it's one of my fortes.
Cool. Excellent. All right, so question number 2 is, do you consider yourself a DM, a player, or a content provider, or any or all of the above?
I'm actually a good mix. You guys probably saw it earlier where I posted I'm actually writing a full psionics handbook for 5e rather than that whole reskinning mages crap that most people have been doing. I created the class, and I've got 7 more powers to write and 4 appendices to put together, and then I'm done. It's looking like it's going to ring in around 100 pages, 120 pages, something like that.
Wow.
So I do a little of everything.
Well, that sounds like a pretty tall order. I know psionics are pretty complex with some of the stuff that they do. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
how long have you been working on that?
About 5 months.
Wow.
So it's been a while. I had to take a little while off, so unfortunately, I wound up having to take some time off. I had surgery in March and a bunch of other stuff and school, and in between everything goes on around me, I just wound up having to took about a month off and got back to it today. So hopefully we'll be able to, between me and a couple other guys I have signed up, we'll be able to get it done and out and get the proof out to everybody so everyone can tell me what they think before I send it to Wizards of the Coast, because me and my buddy, he has a contact over there, we're going to submit it.
Cool. Well, I mean, you've got some people here that if, you're interested in having some people play test at all, just let us know. Might be able to find
Always.
some people that could check it out and do some testing for you. So
I think I have a couple of versions up on the group page if you guys ever go look at the files.
Okay. Cool. We'll
I
definitely.
think I have.
Can you post the link over in the chat?
Yeah, for the group page. Let me get to the group page real quick. I've got about 4 gazillion groups I'm part of, so it's going to take me a second.
No worries.
I literally stopped counting when I stopped counting when I hit 200. So.
Wow.
Yes. Okay, I'll get that damned.
Oh wow, Brandon, you're in a lot of groups.
I'm in one. I'm in a group by myself.
Oh, of course you're gonna do this today. Come on now. There it goes. It's hanging up on me. It's being dumb. But yeah, I know I've got a couple of pages out there, and if I don't, I can always upload the version I have right now. So to the group.
Yeah, we're always looking for new stuff to test out, try out. I feel we've been really fortunate and lucky in some of the things that we've kind of stumbled across and
Yeah.
been given the opportunity to test out
Yeah.
already. So it's been pretty cool.
It's there's some nice stuff out there. It's been there's some pretty crazy stuff out there as far as fan-made stuff. It's just some of it is just absolutely terrible, but some of it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I've read some of the fan-made stuff, and it makes you want to cry a little inside, and some of it's really amazing.
Yeah.
It's like 90-10. 90 crap, 10 good.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Well, Facebook is not wanting to play nice tonight, probably because I have my bandwidth turned up on this, so I'm going to turn my bandwidth down real quick. That, and I'm kind of sort of opening up something else on I've got a system-wide update going on, trying to set up a online server so my smart TV can find it.
Ah.
I might want to stop that for a second. Actually, let's actually stop that for a second because that's going to slow me down significantly.
We've had our fair share of technical difficulties as we've been starting stuff up and doing new things, but getting used to working with it, and it's just the way you're always going to have with technology, making sure you understand what things are working.
Oh, I know. I'm a certified repair technician. I know.
Yeah.
That for a living. Now I'm going to school for pre-law, so can't really get much different.
I didn't know that one led to the other, but I guess
it really doesn't.
Okay.
The only good bright spot in all of that was I actually managed to get 30 credit hours transferred in, so I actually had a third of my degree knocked out from taking a degree program for networking.
Well, that helps a little bit.
It means I don't have to take a bunch of gen ed classes that I didn't want to take again.
Yeah.
There's only so many
composition. Like accounting.
There's only so many composition courses you can take before you're ready to gouge your eyes out.
Yeah.
But I'll get that up when Facebook decides to stop being a jerk. We can keep moving on.
Yep. Well, I'll just go to the third question. I mean, you've done well with the first two, so we only got a couple left.
Yep.
The third question is, and feel free to expand on the story on this. Your best experience in role-playing or tabletop gaming. Something that you feel free to share, a memory or an experience you had while doing that.
We were actually playing a game of World of Darkness, Old World. It was a mixed game, and I was playing a werewolf, of course. I was actually playing a Metis Philodox Fiona. Really fun. Nothing like a good old drunk lawyer. And we crashed a car. We crashed the car on the side of the road, and my friend Beth is playing a werewolf. She's in the car with me, and this guy sees us wreck. So he pulls over to the side of the road. He comes over to the car. I had gotten drunk as a werewolf, and my Metis breed form when I pass out is Krenos. It's full-on 9-foot-tall scary monster. And my character at this time decides to stir as she's trying to get the car off the side of the road with this guy talking to her, and I stumble out of the car. I fall out of the car in 9-foot-tall furry form. I caused the accident, actually. I poof inside of you got to imagine 9-foot-tall werewolf poofing inside of a Prius. So.
Wow. That sounds ridiculous.
So I fall out of the car, and the guy, of course, if you've ever played Old World of Darkness Werewolf, the moment they see a werewolf, they go into delirium and they panic and they run across. He runs across the street gibbering about monsters and evil things, and so Beth goes ahead and says, "You know what? Screw it. It's too late now. A cat's out of the bag." So she shifts into the Krenos, picks the car up, and puts it back on the road. I immediately look at her and go, "You're not supposed to shift to Krenos in front of people." She goes, "Look who's talking." I look down at my hands. My character's first reaction is, "Oh, fuck." And it just got worse from there. That was the first time we came back into Chicago through the ghetto and got a rental car shot up. That happened twice in the game.
Nice.
We actually lost 2 rental cars to a shootout in that game.
So
we got shot up by gang members. It was pretty interesting.
That sounds crazy. Yeah, I've never played that game. It sounds like it'd be interesting.
Oh, it's a blast. It's like Captain Planet a little bit, but you can have so much fun in it.
Nice.
I mean, did rip somebody's arms off and use them as clubs. That's the essence of playing werewolves.
Wow.
You're extremely angry all the time.
Yeah.
It's like
Sounds like
Hulk, it's like playing the Hulk.
Nice. All right. Well, Kyle, we just have one more question for you. So you're doing well on the grill, and they're going to finish the session up and plate you up. But we do need to finish this last one, and this one I'd actually like you to feel free to be a little philosophical with, just kind of the nature of the question. The question is, why do you game?
Honestly, mine's a stress relief. I have so much crap that goes on around me. I do it to have fun and to get rid of stress. That's not even a joke. There's so much relief in being able to just escape from reality every now and again.
Do you
Especially,
Oh, go ahead.
especially when you're running the game, you get a lot more relief.
Yeah.
Although I've found a lot of players don't respect how much work you do.
Yeah. So do you find that being able to take on another character, another role, does that help you with problem solving some things in real life at all? Ever? I mean, do you ever find that, or?
It does. That's actually, I've written a blog post on that, a couple of them on that, about I grew up in a independent Baptist home, so you can in the '90s, so you can imagine where that's going.
Yeah.
I'm just lucky I'm not in hell already. I mean, I verged telling independent Baptist pastors that if I'm going to hell for everything I do, I might as well enjoy the ride. So, but it teaches a lot of things people don't give credit for. It teaches math skills. It teaches philosophical skills. It teaches all kinds of things you just don't think about.
Yeah.
And people forget that way, way too often. They get into the habit of thinking that you game, so you must not have a life, or you game, it must be really easy. Yeah, no. I spend a lot of time on the stuff I actually do.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes. I actually, when I had to take a break from Rise of Tiamat for a while because I had been running it for so long. And it was wonderful. It's a great game, but I took a break from it. But I was spending 4 to 5 hours a week on prep for that, and then I was running a Mage the Ascension game on Fridays. That was another 3 to 4 hours of prep a week. I've been conned into running as much as 5 games a week.
Wow.
I won't do that again, but I have been tricked into that before.
Yeah. I mean, there is something to be said about playing that many games a week, but trying to run that many seems like that's a lot.
Soul crushing.
It's just a lot of work. Crushing. I mean, that's got to be tough.
Yeah, you learn what your limits are when you have people, and that's the other thing. People try to get me to run games I really don't want to run, and I've learned to just say no.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to be like, no, I'm not running anything right now. Well, I really want you to. I don't care what you want. Got other things to do.
Yeah. And that is a big part of life, though, too. I mean, learning what your limitations are, what you can take on as far as work stress or business stuff, or other things, just other things in life. I think that is something that everybody needs to learn about themselves, and this is one way that doing this gaming and trying to take on that stuff can really help out too. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's a social contract thing too, and a lot of people don't understand that about gaming. They think it's just a bunch of greasy nerds hanging out in a basement. There's actually a social contract to gaming. You can't just be a jackass in game. People won't play with you.
Yeah.
You have to actually have some morals and some foibles about things like that. And that book is up on the next page, the D&D 5e, the next edition group, and I'm going to drop it into the regular 5th edition group as well. If I can find it now again. Where's that? There it is. So you guys can go grab that if you want and see what I've got done. I think it's at 81 pages. 82nd page only has like 3 words on it.
So cool, definitely gonna check it out. Well, Kyle, that is the end of our grilling session, and you have passed. Brennan, why don't you tell Kyle what he has won?
You've won an all-expense-paid trip to right here in the Hangout. Thanks for joining us. Actually, you now have the ability to ask us questions.
Ask
So
you questions. Wow.
exactly before you can do that, before you can jump in and do that, you have to pass the test. So thanks. Hey, Robert. Hey, Thomas.
Hey,
Hello, hello.
Chepe!
What's up, Cheppy?
It's Captain Chepe. Wasn't I hanging out with you last night till like 2:30?
I don't remember a damn thing. So
You drunk?
no, I'm just tired, bro.
Oh, see, I get in one of these hangouts hoping to avoid you people, and look who shows up. Robert and Chepe.
What?
No, I really
with
love
all
you,
this
Robert.
people business.
I have an animus.
Is that it?
I have an animus towards people with no facial hair. Sorry.
Understandable.
We also have Thomas. Don't forget about Thomas.
Yay.
Hey, Thomas.
Shadowrun!
Thomas.
Shadowrun!
Shadowrun.
Apparently that's what I'm famous for.
I honestly thought you just said Timmy. I'm like, what the hell?
I don't know how that came out of Shadowrun, but awesome. It works.
Shadowrun
Decks.
with South Park characters.
Oh,
That would
damn
go very well.
It sounds.
And by very well, I mean TPK.
I still think I'm still thinking the best idea we ever had as a group. Find a Call of Cthulhu game we could join together and run every character as if they were Scooby-Doo characters without the GM knowing it.
Scooby-Doo?
We're
I'd
gonna
be
try to do
tempted
it.
to do the freaking voice.
We couldn't find a GM to guinea pig on though, unfortunately. Sad face.
Hey, is that you? I don't know if that was any good, but I don't give a shit.
Now I'm thinking about the Futurama episode where they make fun of Scooby-Doo.
Dude, I need to run that Futurama one shot. Thomas, you want to be in the Futurama one shot?
Do you have the rule book for Toon?
No, but
There's a Futurama rule book for Toon that's a free download. I can send it to you. It's free, so you're not pirating it.
okay.
If you want me to, I'm not gonna do it if you don't want me to.
I haven't ran Tune, so that would be good. I could do it, but I really want to
Well-
just do K-Core because I know K-Core.
No, I'm just if you want to get inspiration for it, dude, just grab the Futurama book and the Toon book and go to town.
What kind of games do you have coming up, Cheppy?
I'm playing in Edge of the Empire on Infinite Roleplays channel, and you can see me stumbling over the fact that I had 2 hours of sleep the night before and could not find a voice to my character, and Robert's playing a Wookiee and couldn't communicate with anyone.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, I changed that. I
I
couldn't.
wanna
I
hear-
can't play the entire game not being able to understand anybody or communicate with anyone. At least I can understand.
You just
Yeah,
gotta work on your moaning. Different moans mean different things.
Yeah, I could do that.
Let's hear the Wookiee sound. All right, who did that?
That was me.
That was Robert.
Oh, okay, good.
I heard that and I heard.
There's a Futurama for you, Chepe.
Oh, schnacky.
Trying to see if I could get somebody to give me Elementsters Ecologies, and he didn't have a copy. I'm sad face.
By the way, I brought you gifts, Dice&Decks.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I like gifts.
I sent you the link of randomness. The great gift of randomness to 5e.
And Chepe, the bottom link's the Toon core book. So
I'm opening those now and saving them to my.
if you never played Toon, it's hilarious. It's like Paranoia without all the zaniness. Although Paranoia, I need to run a Paranoia one shot because I really want to kill some people. Robert, your face was great.
I love that game.
I mean, it's honest.
I haven't played it, but I've read it and I've known many people that have played it.
I've run it a couple of times, and it's freaking hilarious to run. I had a guy, he was going to try to fix a malfunctioning machine that was dropping mines, and he didn't know it, and he ran right across a mine. Instant kill. Splattered them all over the walls. And your new clone will be here momentarily.
I seen a You mentioned this the other night. I saw a supplement. I think it was something to do with a bar. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it was a Tales.
Tales from a Floating Vagabond.
Yep. It wasn't a core book, but it was a supplement.
Was it the Bar Wars screen?
Yes. Yep.
That game right there?
Yes, that one. Not that game. That wasn't the book.
Yeah, no, but that's the game. This is the adventure I want to run for it.
Cosmic Paternity.
They're actually making a second edition of it, so I'm excited.
Yeah, the guy's been working on it. He got sick or something.
Yeah. I've got the Firefly core book in PDF, Chepe, but I haven't had a chance to play it. It uses Cortex Plus. It can't be all bad.
Do you like the, was it Unity? It's not the Unity engine. It's the one that Witchcraft's powered by. Alternity?
Well, no, Unisystem.
Yes, Unisystem.
I like Unisystem okay. It's just once you get really stupid powerful with guns, it's dumb. Oh, wow, I can shoot 34 times in a round and never miss. Okay, that's just ridiculous, guys.
Why would you miss if you're standing at point-blank range with, I don't know, like an AK-47?
It's the way the system works is you take a cumulative -2 for every additional shot beyond the first, and all you have to do on a D10 is roll higher than a 10 by rolling a die and adding your skill bonus. If you get a skill bonus of say +14, +15, once you really max out your skills, late game, you can legitimately shoot. You can shoot at least twice without ever rolling the dice. It's just insane.
Wow, that does seem kind of broken. So, Thomas, you came in like just before Robert and Chepe. Were you like in a call with them, or what was going on?
Yeah, we were hanging out.
Nice. Would you like to go through our grilling process? I think you're the only one here who hasn't.
Sure, why not?
It's pretty easy. Also, are you in the United Kingdom?
Australia.
No,
I asked the same thing yesterday.
Yeah.
All right. I am an ignorant American, so I apologize.
That's all good.
All right. Well then, Joe, fire up that grill. I know you were trying to knock the charcoals down, but let's go ahead and get them grilled up.
We're gonna have to throw some more charcoal on there, I think, to get this one done.
All right.
Alrighty, so.
Oh yeah, my wife corrected us. This would be a Barbie or Barbie. Is that right, Thomas?
Barbie, yeah, barbecue.
Bobby. All right. Let's do what he said then. This will be our first barbecue.
Alright, Thomas. So what I did was I posted, or not posted, I put up the questions over in the chat here. And what we do, we give everybody the chance to introduce themselves and to, have a little conversation about what they enjoy about, gaming and tabletop and all those kinds of things. So we've come up with the 4 simple questions here, but you do have to pass through the grilling session and get seasoned up. Otherwise, you are not allowed to ask us questions, apparently. Those are the rules. So we're going to go ahead and go through the questions one at a time. So question number 1 is, what got you into D&D or tabletop gaming?
I started doing tabletop gaming out of curiosity. Me and my friends had been doing wargaming for a while, and then we were like, hey, let's do this RPG thing. And then we did, and that's it.
Nice.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to already have a large group of friends that we could play with. So yeah, and I started with D&D 3.5.
Cool. That's what we're doing with our one-shot session as well as our home session right now. But we are looking into trying to set up a 5e session as well sometime soon. So hopefully we'll be looking forward to that as well. Next question is, do you consider yourself a DM, a player, a content provider, or any or all of the above?
I'm a DM. I am permanent DM usually. I mean, online I get to play more, but in real life all I do is DM. That's it. Always have and probably always will at this point.
Cool. Is it just kind of the hat that you put on the easiest, do you think, or the best, or is it both?
All my friends are afraid to DM. That's it.
Okay. Next question. We're getting over halfway there now. Next question is, Your best experience in role-playing or tabletop gaming? Just something that you're feeling, that you'd be willing to share, a story you can share with us. Something along those lines.
That's a hard one. I can only think of one story. It's probably not the best because I have plenty of them. I actually play a lot of Shadowrun 5th edition, as some of you might already know, and 4th edition. And this is a story that comes from there when basically in Shadowrun, it's about sci-fi in the future, like cyberpunk, but there's D&D races as well, magic and stuff. But it's all about dystopian future kind of corporations kind of thing. And people play operatives, shadow operatives called Shadowrunners. And pretty much what happened was is that we all came to the game table one day, and it was just going to be kind of a one-shot, a bit of fun. But everyone came with combat characters. No one came with a hacker. No one came with a mage or anything like that. And I had spun up a mission where they had to break into a corporation where you need a hacker, you need a mage, and you need a face. But all they had was combat characters. And one guy also had a helicopter, which is just a really weird thing to also have in the game. So pretty much what happened is that they all decided they would bloody raid this corporation doing a hit-and-run tactic by using a large amount of explosives, which was literally a giant foam explosive ball with grenades in it, flying over through their helicopter into illegal airspace and just go ham on this large structure just to get a small amount of data. And something that they thought of was that the person that was the techie, while he wasn't a hacker, they needed him to be able to get the data. But the biggest problem is that he was really crap with his physical stats. But they had someone who was pretty much his character concept was a retarded Bruce Lee. He has a very low intelligence, hyper strong martial artist who also had a sniper rifle. And so what they needed to do there was they decided to literally make like a piggyback harness for the techie to get in his back so that they can swing into the building and run to the location where they needed to be, which is what they did. And the combat was just utterly hilarious because there's this massive Bruce Lee fly-kicking, shooting people with a sniper rifle, with a dude with a submachine gun on his back, mowing everyone down, killing way too many people that was necessary, finally getting to the location, getting their way out, and then they jump onto the helicopter, like they abseil down, and there's a rope there, they jump onto there, and then basically this corporation they were going against was a genetics company. And the whole hook was that there was a super soldier that was there to stop them. And the super soldier jumps on out of nowhere onto the thing, shoots the Bruce Lee character, almost killing him. And they're like, shit, what the hell do we do? We're completely fucked. We can't shoot this guy. He's too strong. And then the techie remembers that he has a blowtorch on him, on his person, and he cuts the wire. And they are barely able to get away. And as they're flying away, they kill about 5 more helicopters and become probably the most wanted people in the entire of Seattle. And they all did it for about 10 grand each, which was not worth it at all. And the campaign ended quite abruptly. It was hilarious, to say the least.
That sounds pretty ridiculous. I like the idea of doing the smash and grab sort of thing. That's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. It didn't end well.
All right. So we're down to our last question. I like to offer this one as a sort of a philosophical type question, so feel free to expand on it if you wish. The last question is simply, why do you game?
For me, it's probably a creative outlet. That's pretty much it. I just use it as a creative outlet. Like, I'm not exactly an artist. I'm not exactly any of them. Like, don't write music or anything like that, but I can spin a story. So yeah, I use it as a creative outlet. Simple as that.
Nice. Do you find, I mean, now that you said obviously that you spend all your time DMing, the idea of being a storyteller, is that something that you feel like you pride yourself on, something that you, like you said, spinning a story, is that an asset that you feel that you have at this point now?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not the best, but I like to think I'm obviously a lot better than what I was when I started. So yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, we're gonna plate you up and serve you out to everybody else. So congratulations, you've completed our grilling session, and we're gonna, like I said, get you out there for everybody else. So as we said, your reward for going through the grilling session is that you get to ask us any questions that you have. If you have any questions that you want to present to the group or to specific people, feel free to ask away. You can type the chat onto the side, or you can, kind of just serve them up for everybody. If somebody has a specific question and wants everybody to answer, we let them ask the question, and then they choose the order in which they are answered. So just go like left to right or right to left from your point of view, and just kind of do it that way. So we just kind of have an open forum for people to offer up what they want. So congratulations, and thanks for being on the call with us, Thomas.
Alrighty. Alright, give me a sec. Guys are gonna call.
So Brennan, we got a full house here tonight.
Absolutely.
I don't know what else I have prepped for everybody. That's getting kind of ridiculous.
I was actually just going to mute Thomas there, and I realized that I was talking to no one because I was muted. Yeah, Ty dropped out in case someone else wants to jump in. So we'll see if anyone else wants to join the conversation. Otherwise, he'll jump back in a little bit. If not, but yeah, it's been a while since we've had a full house. Thanks for joining, Robert and Chepe. It's always nice when people return. We love it. You've been doing a lot of hangouts too, haven't you, Chepe?
Yeah.
We were talking about this last night, weren't we?
Chepe's the king of hangouts, man. He's been doing it for a very long time.
I know that he's been doing. Go ahead, Chepe. What were you saying?
Too much.
Nice. Yeah, I just kind of join random ones here and there and that kind of thing. But this is our first one in, I don't know, a week and a half, something like that. We've been running a lot of different games with Nathan and with our one shot on Monday. And then I'm working on a story for 5th edition. I want it to be all different from my current world, so it's taking me a little bit because I can't just run into it, and I haven't DM'd 5th edition before, but I kind of want to watch some other DMs do 5th edition. So if any of you guys are running a game that I could take a look at, that'd be awesome. Sounds good, Matt. Thanks for watching, bud.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, there's lots to do. There's lots of 5e games on the one shot group.
I'm going to
pretty
set a
sure.
couple up here soon.
Dude, you should just take the plunge. It's really not. It's a very, especially if you used to 3.5, dude. 5 is like a breeze.
Oh, 5e is like, it's like running 2e with functional mechanics. I mean, that's how I think of it. Oh my God, a progressive attack system. You mean I don't have to calculate THAC0?
THAC0 is retarded.
Hey, don't go there, because that's what I cut my teeth on, man.
Oh, well, yeah,
THAC0
I mean,
now and again.
yeah, I did THAC0 too, but I didn't really like it.
I loved it. And again, I learned how to play that way, and some of my favorite systems are regressive, so like Alternity.
I was 10 in 93, so I didn't play too much of the 2nd edition stuff, but
He was busy playing with himself.
oh, come on, Nathan. That's not true.
It's totally true.
Oh my God, whatever you guys, I hate you. So far I was 0 in 93. Nice. Well, see, now I actually feel old.
You're actually a year older than I am, so 2 years older than I am.
So you were born in 95?
No. I was born in 85, actually.
Oh, you meant me. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. I was born in 85, so I started playing when I was 9 in 94. Never looked back. Love it.
Yeah,
I have 42 game systems that I can run. That's why putting one shots up is so difficult. I don't know what to put up.
Just put up like some really old, obscure shit that people haven't either heard of or played in like forever.
Then Chepe will play.
Yeah, Nobody will play. Like, what is this? Is this
I should-
5?
Okay, so here's a challenge for everybody. Well, not
Oh,
for everybody
dear.
necessarily, but I actually have a box set of the, I think it's 1984 Doctor Who role-playing game. Has anybody played that?
No, I'm not a big Doctor Who fan, but I have the PDFs laying around. I've never actually read them.
Would anybody be interested in playing that? Because I'd have to read all that crap. And
The new one from
myself up on
Cubicle, the new one from Cubicle 7 blows the 1980 ones out of the water.
well, we could play something obscure though, if anybody really wanted to.
Cubicle 7 is obscure. I just mentioned a company most people in this group have probably never heard.
I've looked through every one of their games, and it's like each one of them is like hit or miss with me. It's like one, it's like, do you even try? And then this next one is like, why didn't you do this with that over there?
My
Like,
question
with
is,
Cubicle.
are you a fan of the One Ring?
I'm not a fan of the One Ring. I
How
don't
can you
necessarily hate it or not. I'm not a Tolkien fan. I'm not.
I'm
Over
gonna
this.
seize up on you.
This is why I read Sanderson and like Patrick Rothfuss and all the other guys. It's because I'm not a big like Tolkien fan.
I'm only missing 4 books from Redwall, but then again, I'm one of the few people that's probably read that entire series.
I love Redwall, actually.
Such a shame he's dead.
Yeah. I got, at one point I had read 12 out of 12 or 13 out of 13 or something like that, and then I just got busy with other stuff and haven't gone back to it, but I loved reading Redwall. My mom read Redwall to my sister and I as we were growing up, so it was really cool.
That is an old copy, Robert. That is an old copy. I remember that copy when I was in middle school. Eek. With the fat, creepy, the fat hobbit and the creepy golem that looks like a child molester.
My sister had that.
Look how horrible that looks.
On the big screen, that's like horribly blurred.
Oh.
There we go, better. I'm telling you, man, that golem looks like he's about to molest Bilbo or something. I'm not sure what to think of.
Golem actually looks a bit like an alien.
Yeah.
Hold still, guys. Hold still, I'm going in dry, baby.
Too far.
So, when you said Cubicle 7, I actually thought you were referring to my desk.
Cubicle 7's a game company, and they're amazing. You know what game I need
Nope.
to run a one-shot of?
No.
I need to run
No.
a one-shot of Song Ice and Fire.
No, they're not amazing until they fix Kudo.
I forgot they
Broke my dreams. It was like, that's a concept I've always wanted. You made a game. Great. Here's the basic D6 mechanic. Wait, where's the thematic theme? It was like, it might be in the next book. Never comes out.
It's actually on the slate. They do their books very slow.
Okay, so we have
Until they
a
fix
fan-
Cubicle. Until they fix Kudo. I will not call them amazing until they fix Kudo. So embittered. They
We have a
teased
really-
me.
We have a really big fan of Basic Fantasy in the call right now. Have you guys ever played Basic Fantasy?
Read the book, didn't play because I don't have anyone to play with me. Wow, that sounded terrible. Especially since I'm in the gutter tonight.
Would you like us to play with you? It's
So I
terrible.
prefer chicks.
Oh, okay.
Don't swing that way, dude.
I can't even follow up on that one. Chepe, have you played Basic Fantasy, seeing as you're the king of niche?
I've not played it. I've seen
What do
it.
you want, cat? Look, you cry entirely too often. Shut up.
Oh, do you have Victoria on it, by the way, Kyle?
Me?
Yes.
Yes, I think so.
I want to play that game. I really want to play that game, and I know I
let-
probably
let
need
me-
2 other people to play that game.
Let me double check it and see if I do for sure. Because I think Victoria. Nah, crap, I don't have it right now. It's newer. I thought I did. I've got 200 gigs of books, so it takes me a minute to figure out what I actually have. You gotta forgive me.
That's okay. Robert, have you played Basic Fantasy?
Nope, but I've actually talked to Nathan. I'm pretty sure that's what you're talking about.
Yes, it is.
About it. And no, I actually have not played it, but I've read it. And yeah, I will. I mean, it's pretty slimmed down. Yeah. Actually, I think it's in the Ogre Games thing.
It is.
Yes.
So, Chepe, would you complain if I ran a one-shot of Mouse Guard?
I want in now.
I have to
You
read
have
the
no
rules.
idea. You have no idea.
It's 320. It's 320 pages, dude. You're gonna have to give me time.
You have no idea.
I want to run Burning Wheel, but I'll sell for Mouse Guard.
I want to run Burning Wheel, but nobody apparently wants Burning Jihad. Apparently playing like the. It sounds horrible, but Burning Jihad is the source book for. It's a fan-made reskin of the rules for Dune, but before the first book takes place, so you get all the political, like the whole actual Dune deal.
Have you ever read Chronicles of the Imperium from Last Unicorn? Awesome skin of it. It only got 1,000 copies printed because Wizards of the Coast bought them right before it came out. And they were going to redo Dune as a D20 game, and then they backed off of it. So they only made 1,000 copies of it. You can get it off of Amazon for about $300. But you're like me, you just have the PDF, and you print it on Lulu.
So on the cheap then, $300, that's it?
Yeah, it's when it first came out, when people weren't willing to sell it, it was selling for anywhere between $2,000 and $8,000 new. It was that limited. It was ridiculous. It was like 1,000. It was either 1,000 or 2,000 copies. It was not a lot. It was a really small amount. It was ridiculous. I legitimately have never seen a company screw up a game product the way Wizards screwed up Dune. Of course, they also lost the license to Last Unicorn game Star Trek when they said they were going to try to make Star Trek into a D20 game, and Paramount's like, no, you're not. Screw you, people.
Star Trek D20 version. That'd be
just play Decipher. Play Decipher Trek, and you get the same feel, except you use 2d6.
So I want to get in on some of these abstract games. How do I sign up for the niche list?
The niche list. You hang around me and chat long enough.
I've been trying.
Or you go to Ogre Games.
What do I do?
Big Asian Rebellion away.
Yeah, you can sign up for Ogre Games. We do. We have a bunch of free, legally free games.
Well, I was gonna say I have a lot of free games too.
Yeah. It's basically we have a pool of that, a pool of DMs, and a pool of players, and we use random.org and generate random games and GMs and players to those games, and it's all stuff like nobody's played. It's all the free stuff that like people make or like just get overlooked. So we figured we have all this free stuff, we might as well put it to use somehow.
Hey, Robert, have you checked out the Don John fantasy random generator site?
Oh yeah, I love that place.
Oh yeah.
We also have a Facebook group open recently called Lords of Chaos, RPG charts for the art for a role-playing game. Facebook group, Lords of Chaos, has the Eye of Sauron on it.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, but no, yeah. Don John goes perfectly in that.
So not only is Chepe the niche king, he's also the pitch king now?
Apparently so.
Oh.
See, I want to run horror on the Orient Express, but I don't want to run it online because I actually want to use the little freaking cool like handouts they give you. Again, I told you guys last night, man. I paid $120 for it. I'm using it.
I'll tell you what. Just scan them all and send them to me, and then we can play.
I really do want to.
I was just gonna say, get our addresses and make copies of it and send them in the mail and just do the game in like a week or two.
Play by post, man.
I actually get a free Simulacron that was supposed to come in the box set, but it would have held up the Kickstarter release. So they actually, instead of sending it in the box set, they give you a code to get it for free off the website. All you gotta do is pay shipping, which is like $2.
Cool.
So I'm gonna do that when I get $2. I have 44 cents in my bank account right now, so. But yeah, it's a beautiful. The box set's just beautiful. I was reading it last night while I was talking to you guys, and I was like, this is the reason I bought it. And then I realized I don't know any Call of Cthulhu players around here, so now I'm all depressed. In the last Call of Cthulhu game I tried to get together, I put a bunch of people together, got them to do characters, and they never showed up.
That sounds like a Roll20 game.
It was. I'm really thinking the next time I run Call of Cthulhu, I'm going to handpick people.
If it's any consolation, my very first game, so I don't know if anybody, I'm very new to the whole pen and paper RPG thing. I've loved it. I mean, I love it. I've always wanted to do it. Always played RPGs, but I'm really new to the whole tabletop pen and paper. Well, my very first Dungeons and Dragons game, 3.5 with Brennan. Yeah, he killed my character off.
Well, you kind of did it to yourself a little bit, so can't blame
Kind of.
him too
but-
much.
I mean, it wasn't like my guy was asking for it. I dropped the knife. I didn't slit the guy's throat.
You played your character very well, though, so it was fitting. I thought you did really well with it. So
The first Tolus game I ever played, we were playing Tolus, and my friend Mike was running it, and Mike is a great dude. And so he sends us up against this guy. We've got to capture a thief in a warehouse, and he thinks we're just going to capture him, turn him over. We capture him, and my Latorian gets ready to decapitate him. He is begging his players not to kill his NPC. I mean, begging us, please don't, dude, you're going to run my story. We're like, well, you shouldn't send up a bunch of lawful neutral people against a thief. We have no foibles. We will murder. Oh, I love that Latorian Ranger. Only got to use him about 4 sessions before that game died because, well, we kind of killed it. We run this plot line.
So do people run campaigns online?
Yeah, I run Giovanni Chronicles, I'm running Rise of Tiamat online, and I'm getting ready to run a new Jedi Order game using Saga Edition.
How do you make the time to do all the different things? That's the issue I'm having. Like, I want to do a bunch of stuff, but I just don't. I don't have the time. It feels like I don't know.
It helps when you don't have a job and you're disabled.
Choose.
Do what you can. Don't push it.
Would anyone be willing to disable me?
No, trust me, you don't want to be disabled, dude. You don't make anywhere near enough money. I make $700 a month, man.
Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. That you're disabled and you make $700 a month.
You kind of get used to it, but it sucks. Still sucks. See, this is where we need a game. Somebody needs to run a 5e game in tier. Who wants to run Dark Sun for me? I want to play a Thri-Kreen Psionicist.
I do have Thri-Kreen in Aquika.
I may need to get your Thri-Kreen from you because I need to add the Thri-Kreen to my Sonic's handbook.
You may or may not be satisfied with it because it's not really all that.
I can make tweaks to it. If you give me the basics, I can make the tweaks I need. Seriously. And you'll get credited in it. I'll give you credit on it. Well, no, we're submitting it to Wizards of the Coast. We're submitting this book to Wizards. So I would give you credit where it's due. I'm not a complete D-bag, dude. Just mostly.
I was going to say, only 85% D-bag. I don't even know you. I feel bad saying that.
Don't feel bad, dude.
Okay, I just send you the link right now. That's straight to the mechanics to it, since that's what you're interested in instead of the races.
Hold on. Okay, Jacqueline. Look at. Then I got him. Thri-Kreen. There they are. Okay. Okay.
The game that shall never be played.
I'm gonna go all out on Aquika. You'll see.
Curiosity's sake, why'd you throw saving throws on a race? Proficiency and saving throws on a race.
It's the flavor for where they are in Aquika. If you read their bio, then that makes sense for them. They come from a hive mind.
Yeah. Okay. I was curious. That's what I was asking you. Not accusing, like asking. Where'd that come from? Okay, it's all good. Okay. Four-armed combat's pretty nice, although I would expand on that and make it where they can actually wield two-handed weapons. And make it disturbing.
Yes. That's like the Sinracob, right, Joe?
Sounds like it, yeah.
They used to be able to do that in 2e. In 2e, you could actually have a Thri-Kreen running around with 2 Great Spears.
Why not? I mean, if they have 4 arms.
And in 2e, there was none of these ridiculously stupid and complicated multi-attack rolls and offhand attack rolls. So you just basically stab twice as long as you had to do attacks. You could do it.
Yeah, actually, you mentioned that, and it instantly made me think of the bone golems. Bone golems in basic fantasy can arm or have two-handed weapons. They get 2 attacks per round.
There's a handful of creatures in 2E that used to do that, and Thri-Kreen were one of them. The Weemic race from Complete with Humanoids could do some disgusting stuff too. They could wield great weapons in one hand because of their strength. I believe that's right. I have to look at the Complete with Humanoids again. I think it was a Weemic. And they were just disgusting. So you could put like a great axe in the hands of a Weemic, and he could swing a great axe while still getting a bonus armor class from having a shield.
I'm assuming Buckler.
Not really.
Or do you mean just one hand great axe, one hand shield?
Yeah, one hand great axe, one hand
okay.
shield.
Gotcha.
They could treat great weapons like great axes, two-handed swords, stuff as one-handed weapons because of their strength.
That sounds like Connor's character.
I never did like it.
A shout out to Dan, who basically single-handedly took down a gargoyle with a dagger +1.
Damn fucking straight.
In basic fantasy, that's actually pretty impressive.
It was. I was surprised. You were rolling like a king.
I'm a fucking beast. That's right.
That thing makes me think of Mr. Welch's list. It is in bad taste to do victory laps after killing the dragon with my 1d2 bow.
I was just a thief, by the way, not like a fighter or anything, so.
It wouldn't matter. It was a dagger. Thomas. Oh,
he's out.
I like to give people a chance to shout out, is all.
Not enough Shadowrun.
Tieflings. Tieflings are so much fun.
Something about tabletop. That's his YouTube channel, by the way.
Watch Something About Tabletop. Some of the best and actually the only how-tos to run Shadowrun 5th edition. Both character creation and how to run it as a GM. Right on YouTube. Something About Tabletop. Home of tabletop gaming and various war game thing.
And don't forget Monroe.
That's right. He has the Monroe. Don't forget about Monroe. Boom.
That was the shout out for Thomas.
Yeah.
Awesome.
His friends run Something About Tabletop.
That's awesome.
You can probably tell Ty to come back.
I think he's watching on YouTube right now. Ty, if you're watching, you can jump back in. We got room.
Ty, come back. So, quick question. Has anybody, I'm assuming most everybody here has likely DM'd just from the sound of the conversation. Have you guys ever put any Afrides or Djinis in your game and allowed the players to make any wishes or anything like that?
Djinn are fun to put in your games if you run them right. Like an Al Qadim, they're hilarious because they have the ability to grant the wish spell, but they oftentimes find the biggest loophole in the wish that they can, and it often screws the players. It's hilarious. I want to be rich and famous. Well, you didn't say how, so now you're an outlaw. Congratulations, you can never go into civilized lands again. And it encourages you to screw your players like that. It's hilarious. That's why I don't run Al Qadim. Might be the most racist campaign setting ever made. Like a total caricature of the Middle East.
Nope, never used one.
Never used Djinn?
Nope.
That's
I'm pretty new to the actual medieval games or medieval type. I've always done like superheroes or modern or horror. So.
Anybody knows offhand without me grabbing my monster manual? Are there more than one type of genie in 5e, or are they just the Djinn now? I know in 2e they had like 13 types. There's like butt tons of genies.
I thought there was less types, but I thought there was more than a type of djinn.
Yeah, I want to say there's 4 or 5, but there's definitely less. I can try to double check. Hold on.
I mean, I can. I just being lazy.
I actually happen to have the book up right now, so it's cool.
Well, I've got the hard copy sitting right behind my head, so I have 4 monster manuals sitting on that shelf up there, which is just disturbing in of itself.
From 5th edition, or what do you mean?
No, I've got 2 seconds, 1 first, and a 5th.
Oh, okay.
It's really fun. Okay, dragon. I don't remember where Jan are. Look them up now.
Yeah, you're the right D's.
Yeah. No, they're under genies now. Yeah, stupid. I don't know why they're under genies, but good. Okay, let's see. 141. Genies. There's the Dow, the Afridi, the Genie, the Genie, the Madrid, and the Marid. So there's only 4 in that. Which one's in better shape? Which one's in better shape? We don't want to get one out that's in crappy shape. Bottom one's better shape. Yeah. That's not a problem you have with new books. The Aracoca. There we go. Genies. Here we go. Genie. There's... Wow. Okay. There's 5 in 2E now. That's right. And there's more in the Al-Qadim setting and a couple other places. There's a couple more in the Forgotten Realms, Monstrous Compendiums and stuff. And there's one for every type, is what it is. There's air, earth, fire, water. Kind of curious now. How do they play out different in 5e than they did in 2? Because they had to have made some monster changes to these things. They used to be stupid. Let's see. Down.
Well, it sounds like that if they take up the elements, it sounds like did they have the actual elementals as monsters, or did they replace the elementals with the digital?
No. Okay. There's actual elementals still. Mostly you have the air elementals and stuff like that, but you also had the mephits and all that other stuff. That's where those mephits all originated in 2e, along with half of the new. Remember in 3.x and 4e there was only one type of freaking beholder. It was just a beholder. They brought back all the different types of beholders. Well, a lot of them anyways. Beholders, there's like, oh man, I'm trying to remember now. There's tons of beholders. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 different types of beholders in this edition. I think there's like 4 or 5 in 5e. You know, ironically enough, I've never thrown a beholder at anyone. And let's just drop my 2e monster manual. That works.
I haven't thrown one at anyone either. I just usually let them fight it.
I've never had a fight with one. I've never been in a game with the beholder, and I've never used one. I've thought about it
once on, and don't throw slings and arrows at me, but the D&D online DDO or whatever it is. I played a bard, little halfling bard, and one of the quests was taking out a beholder at the end of a dungeon. It was pretty sweet.
I almost had a 3.x DM convinced to let me play a beholder sorcerer. It says you can't break 3x.
Well, as I understand, beholders, aren't they supposed to be like the embodiment of evil? They're just maniacal.
Yeah, but they may be. But the guy I had him half convinced to do that, and then he backed off of it. So I almost had him. I had him like 90% convinced to let me play a Roxasha sorcerer.
I actually just got to do some voice acting for beholders.
I don't know. I played some games with some stupid stuff. One of the first 3.5 games I played in with my old group before I had to leave them because they don't play anything anymore. They talk a lot about how they game, but they don't really game. The first game I ever was in with them, I played a favored soul monk, which was disgusting because he turned into a sacred fist. He's an Azamir. And one of my friends was playing it was a Gestalt game. So he was playing a Ranger Rogue Fighter, Stalker of Koresh. So he had it was something along the lines of like 6 favored enemies by the time we were at the point we were at, and he had favored enemy evil. and he was doing an average of something along the lines of like 200 damage a round. Actually, I take that back more than that. He was doing around 400 a round. We saw him crit in one round 3 times somehow. Don't ask. The Open RPG die roller sucked, but he rolled 3 crits in a round, and we saw him do over 1,000 damage with one character. Terra was disgusting, and I forever had an idol to try to stack up to every time I played with him. That was fun. Everyone is like in stunned silence about that whole concept for some odd reason.
Sorry, I was reading the world of Aqua.
Oh no, I'm just joking around, man. It's not. I'm not ever really serious. I mean, seriously though, if you ever want to see disturbing stuff, we used to have to bring the band hammer out in that game all the time, and my friend Paul was single-handedly responsible for getting at least 3 classes banned, including Planar Shepherd.
Classes?
We actually had to ban certain classes because they were so stupid broken. We showed how broken they were. And Paul managed to get 2 or 3 different classes banned, and then one of them was Planar Shepherd.
Interesting.
You ever played a 3-5 game with a Planar Shepherd in it?
I'm trying to think here. I don't believe any of the players have, and I certainly have not. No. I think I'm familiar with Planar Shepherd. I'm going to bring it up right now and read up on it. But some of the more broken things that I've encountered are like the Factotum, using Iyatsu Focus as a class ability with Gnome Quick Razor and a couple of other tricks like that. And then let's see. Of course, the pun build that everyone's familiar with. And I think that's really the more broken stuff. Everything else has been not quite as bad. What does the Planar Shepherd do that makes him so crazy?
1, he can shift into planar creatures as a druid. 2, at high level, he can actually transfer himself to his own plane of existence. He also gains the ability to gain control over planar creatures. And he's only a 10-level class. So it gets disgusting relatively bad, relatively fast. The Factotum is broken, but for different reasons. You want to see a really, truly broken class, if it's used right, is the True Namer.
Yeah, True Namer is tough, though, because it's kind of theory-based more than actual, play-tested based. You have to fill in a lot of blanks on your own, as far as I understand it.
You do, and it also gets really difficult to pull off level true naming. Because the difficulty on true naming gets really ridiculous at high levels. So it was really cool. I like the book of the Tome of Magic. I played a Shadowcaster one time that was just disturbing.
Yeah, I like the book of the Tome of Magic. I also like the Book of Nine Swords. And I like
that book's
Unearthed Arcana as well.
I played a Gestalt game one time, and just to make my players frustrated because they begged for a Gestalt game, I made them use fractional BAB and fractional saves.
That's mean.
Don't beg me to run a game I don't want to run.
Funny, but mean. So, hey Kyle, I have this game I want you to run.
Trust me, you don't want to do that.
I'm just teasing. I'd rather just play something that people want to run. It seems like it'd be better if the DM's actually enjoying it.
I can enjoy games that I don't want to run, but it takes me some time to get into it, and I tend to get frustrated with you because reality-wise, I've run some games for some people, like Rifts is a good example of that. And it's just because they want a power game. That's why they want me to run it. Run Rifts, I want to kill a bunch of stuff and be power gaming. I'm like, no, I'm running a game just that makes my eyeballs bleed just so you can power game.
I can't even say anything about that, I'm sorry.
I've run Rifts before. I have fun with Rifts. I just have to be in the mood to run it.
What's up, Ty? Oh, geez. Okay, never mind. I thought Ty had a question. I can't even fill in the blanks for people who are watching and wondering what the hell's going on right now.
Yeah. Well, that I have discovered that I don't like the fact that Google Hangouts on Air won't let me use Roll20 in it. I have to use a separate window for it. Sad.
Is that
Because
an issue everyone has? I've only done
Yeah,
Roll21.
it is with they won't let you use third-party apps like that and Hangouts on Air for some odd reason. I think it's copyright issues they're concerned about, and it's fine if you're running a Theater of the Mind game. Like my Giovanni Chronicles is not bad because you don't have to see anything on the maps. But if I'm running 5e, I'm gonna be having some problems because you have to be able to see the map. Otherwise, you don't know what the heck is going on.
So, when you run Roll20, what are you using then for 5e?
I use Roll20 for 5e. I just don't broadcast it.
At all, like on Skype or anything?
We do voice. I just don't broadcast it on my YouTube channels.
Ah, gotcha.
So I actually need to go log into my other Google account here soon and set up a Hangout on Air for Friday.
Nice. Chappie, what do you have going on? Anything?
I've been doing well, other than playing in the Monday night group and needing to prepare for Ogre games and preparing some games for Brigade Con this year, which is an online convention.
Yeah, when is Brigade Con, by the way? I've been meaning to ask people that. I know you guys do it. I just don't remember when.
Is it September? Was that what they said at the end of last year, Robert?
Yeah, I think so. They were gonna do it around the same time as last
It
time.
was like September 17th or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Just for the love of God, tell me it's going to be better than AetherCon.
It should be better. I'm running Dark Tribal Fantasy with Cannibalistic Parasites. Finally get to run Edrigor. And I may or may not be running Numenera, though. I don't know.
Love
I want to
Numenera.
play in a game. So do I. And I'm working on a bunch of pre-gens for Numenera so I can start doing introductory games on a bunch of different places. And I just made a random bonds, flaws, and deals chart for 5e. That's now on the blog. And so I've also made a lot of random character generation stuff for 5e recently. And I'm running an all 5e 4-off eventually that we're calling Aqua Blanca because it's effectively Noir in the plane of water.
Oh boy.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm still doing Odenwald, which is 5e D&D 5e with what's it called? Game of Thrones and a bit of Filipino mythology. And then some other one-shots are whatever I'm going to run in the Monday night group, and then some Numenera for now.
What's the Monday night group? Is that just the name for your group that you do on Monday nights, or what?
Yeah, this is the name for a small group that we've formed, trying to form.
Gotcha. So, is it a weekend thing, or is it a whole week long, or is it a month, or what is it?
What, Brigade Con?
Yeah.
Brigade Con is it's technically for a full 24 hours, but it's worldwide, so it's almost 2 days. But it's supposed to be, last year it was 1 day, and that was the first year it's been done. So I have no idea what whoever's organizing it is doing it this year, whether or not it's 2 days. I highly doubt it, but
Are they doing the T-shirt thing again?
probably. I wouldn't see why they wouldn't.
Are they doing that through that Spreadshirt thing or whatever?
Mm-hmm. Complete third party to raise up for charity.
I'm looking forward to going to Mace West again next year. I missed Mace West this year. Literally 2 weeks before the con, they tell me my surgery date's on the first day of Mace West. I had been prepping to go for 6 months or more. Was going to run 3 games, and I had to cancel the Tuesday of the week. I was like, oh, this sucks. So I wound up leaving Mace West hanging for 3 games, and I had a full game for the One Ring. I was really sad face about that. That was really depressing. I love con gaming. I don't like getting sick afterwards, but I like con gaming.
I hear that from everyone that they get sick from these cons.
It's called the con crud. What happens basically is one person comes to a con with like the flu, and because you're so tight packed at a con, that one person touches one table, and then everybody touches it somehow, or it gets touched, and then the table you're playing at gets touched, and then the next thing you know, it just spreads through everybody, and everybody gets sick, and it sucks. The bigger the con is, the worse it is. I went to MizCon back in 2012. I went to MizCon. I loved that. I'm pissed I don't get to go this year. It's over Memorial Day weekend, and the guest of honor this year is Terry Brooks. Last year was a nobody. The year before that was Jim Butcher, and the year before that was George R. R. Martin. And here in a couple of years, they're going to have Neil Gaiman.
Where is that at?
Missoula, Montana.
And what's the name of the fest or the con again?
MizCon.
Can you spell that? I'm sorry.
MISCON.
Okay. For some reason, I thought I was hearing like a D or a T or something there.
That's probably just being, from the South.
Sounds like the name of an RPG pageant, Miss Con.
They do have a drag show every year.
Perfect. Sold.
It's hard to get into this late because all the hotels fill up.
Oh boy. I can't even say anything. Joe,
how high are the hills? Do they roll dice from interesting places?
I don't want to know. I didn't go. Didn't go to the drag show. Thank God. Last year, or the year that Martin was there, they did they have a LARP that they do, a huge LARP every year. And the year Martin was there, it was Game Show of Thrones. And Greg's an awesome GM. I love Greg to death. I don't agree with him socially, politically, but he's an awesome GM. He's run some of the best games I've ever played in. He read in Desolation and made me want to go buy it, which I still haven't done. Anybody else familiar with the Ubiquity system, or am I the only one?
Not familiar. Oh, someone was running. Who's the guy running All for One?
For sure.
I don't know, but I've heard of it. It's very interesting.
Yes.
I love it. Well, I like it because it is dead straight 50-50 chance. No matter what happens, you only have it. You can roll any die you want. You still only have a 50% chance of succeeding. And I don't know why nobody thought of it before then. Torture chamber? I'm with Chepe. That is kind of kinky.
Yeah, sometimes it gets kinky in the chat.
Sex slave dungeon now.
Yep.
We had an entire idea in a 4E game because we had this kobold character that kept bombing us with area of effect spells and almost killing us. So we were going to kidnap him, slap a gender change belt on the character, and start making him produce children so that we could kill them and turn them into leather bags. The poor DM wouldn't let us do it, though. Something about we aren't allowed to PvP, but I don't see that as PvP. You're oddly that's the silence. I mean, my God, I can't believe you actually thought of that.
Why no PvP?
I don't know. The DM didn't want PvP, so he wouldn't let us do it. We were going to kidnap him, slap the belt of gender, a cursed belt of gender bending on him to make him a woman and make him have babies, so we could kill him and turn him into leather bags. And we were going to start a company called Baby Soft Leather Bags.
Oh boy, that's
terrible.
Yeah.
I was fairly certain that Joe and Brennan were going to kill Dan's thief after he stabbed the innocent dude who wasn't dying.
If I hadn't rolled a 1, I would have.
I have no comment. As far as I'm concerned, that game is still ongoing, and anything is possible.
I've had some terrible ideas in games, but that was definitely up there on my list. Trying to murder the children of another PC.
Joe and I had two characters in our current campaign. We're running an evil campaign in 3.x, and he was a cleric and I was factotum, interestingly enough. And we were having a contest to see who could torture somebody, and had our other players in our group judge who won. And I don't think that they actually decided on that. Joe, what was your torture idea? I forget.
I don't remember. It's not family friendly.
This is a late night broadcast. It's after 10 o'clock, and we'll put a disclaimer up. Content may be graphic. Proceed.
Warning. Children under the ages of 18, or at least under the ages of 13, should reconsider before continuing to listen to this broadcast. Please, go ask your family right now, especially your parental units, whichever form it may be, whether or not it is suitable to partake of this content. Please continue. Parental guidance is advised.
That was a great
Disclaimer.
Yep.
Disclaimer. Disclaimer. The subject matter that you have just heard may be sensitive to some viewers. Oops.
We can definitely read from Book of Isle Darkness. All right, Forged at the table. Welcome to the call.
Hey, how's it going? Can everybody hear me?
Yep, we can hear you just fine.
Nice.
Ty, if
I
you
am
could
the
read-
guy who is going to be doing the all for one, by the way.
Ah,
Yes,
Right,
you're the person who lets me actually try out Ubiquity.
I like Ubiquity. I got to play in Desolation and I loved it. So
Yeah, and I'm also from Missoula, Montana, home of MISCON.
woohoo! You going this year?
Not a chance. I don't like the chair.
The chair, Bob,
No, Bob's not the chair anymore. It's just
Is
the
he?
guy by the name of Justin.
Justin Barprez.
Yeah.
I know Justin. Justin's an okay guy. I get along with him pretty well. I met him through some other friends. He's always been good to me, but I understand people don't always get along. So.
Yeah, I got issues with him. I love Bob, though.
Oh, Cthulhu Bob's amazing. I love Cthulhu Bob.
He's the best Cthulhu on the planet.
If you know Cthulhu Bob, do you know Robert Thompson?
Yep.
He's a douchebag. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I hate that son of a bitch. He stole a bunch of stuff from me.
live next week on the channel. Cthulhu, or not Cthulhu Bob. What was the guy's name?
Robert.
Robert versus Kyle. PvP deathmatch.
I'm pretty sure I can tongue lash that guy pretty easily. I don't like him that much. I don't like some of the people that go to MizCon. That's why I'm not actually one of the reasons I don't want to go up there anymore. I want to go to meet the guest of honor, but I don't want to go deal with the people.
Yeah, it's a pretty cliquish con.
It is. Well, the Sandbaggers go up every year from Great Falls, and they're good people. Like Adam Pell and all those guys from Sandbaggers are good people.
Yeah.
Jeff Watson's kind of a douche, but most of the Sandbaggers are good people. Eric Evgen and all them.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize Cthulhu Bob had stepped down as the chair, though.
Yeah, he's got some health issues.
Well, I knew that. I'm friends with him on Facebook, so I see that all the time. And I knew he was having health issues. I didn't realize he had stepped down because of it.
Yeah.
So, Joe, do you have your grill heated up still?
Sure do.
Who's talking about Facebook?
Forge, have you been watching, or how did you jump in here at the right time?
Yeah, I was watching a little bit and then saw the link on the group and decided I'd pop in.
Okay, there you go. So, do you know what we do? Have you watched a couple of our Hangouts before?
No, not really.
Okay, well, I'll let Joe go ahead and tell you what we're going to do here and post the questions.
Well forged. Basically what we do in our Hangouts is we give the chance for everybody to introduce themselves, but we do so through a series of 4 questions. And these 4 questions, as we like to throw people on the grill, will get people seasoned up and ready to be part of the group in the Hangout. That's pretty much how it goes. And they're all very simple questions. I will post them here in the chat on the side first, so you can look them over. But we just kind of go through the questions one by one, and just allow you to expand on your who you are and what you like to do, that kind of thing.
Sounds good.
Okay. Well, if you're ready to get you all heated up, then let's go ahead. Oh, Nathan's gonna take off. See you, Nathan. Have a good night. Oh, shoutouts. Anyone? Nathan? No? Yes?
Oh,
Be sure to keep your fantasy basic.
I was asking Rob if he checked out the video at all.
Is that the
Yes, I did.
Basic Fantasy?
Yep, that was like interesting layout. What was that on?
Revolution.
Okay.
Yep, we'll have part 2 up hopefully by the end of the night tonight, Brennan.
I was going to say, I feel my name's about to be called out.
That's theirs. Oh, the daggers.
All right, talk to you guys later.
All right, see you, Nathan.
Later.
And that will be the video of me destroying a guardrail.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, Forge, we're going to get back to you. We're going to get you introduced to the group and introduced to the world, I guess. I'll even introduce probably more to the world more than we will. But this is our world, so we're going to do it anyways. So, Forged, I'm going to go ahead and start with question number 1. What got you into D&D or tabletop gaming?
Oh, wow. 1979, Burbank, California. Little tiny wargaming store that if you grew up in California, as far as gaming, everybody's heard of, called the Last Grenadier. Me and my cousins used to play like army men back when we were like 9, 10 years old. And there were these like really small army men. I can't remember the millimeters of them. But anyways, that was one of the stores we used to go into. And I went in one day and they were playing Dungeons and Dragons on one of the back tables, and as a 10-year-old kid, it caught my attention. I had just discovered Lord of the Rings, the books, and all that sort of thing, and sucked up my guts and went back there and started talking to them, and the rest is, as they say, history.
All right, cool. Yes, and there's the question by Brennan. Do you prefer Forge, or do you have a different name you wanted to go by? Is that cool, Forge?
Forge works. Charles works just as well.
Okay, all right. Nice to meet you, Charles. And so question number 2, we'll move right along. Question number 2 is, do you consider yourself a DM, a player, a content provider, or any or all of the above?
Definitely a GM. In the 36 years I've been gaming, I've probably spent 35 of that on the screen side of it. I think in 36 years I've probably played in, I don't know, I could probably count it on 2 fingers how many games I've actually been a player in. It's always been GMing.
Wow, that's really impressive. And just a lot of experience there. It's really awesome.
A lot of headache too.
Well, this one's going to be tough for you then, so I'm going to let you think on this one a little bit, I suppose. But if you have a story that you would like to share, and the question is best experience in role-playing or tabletop gaming.
Oh wow, that's tough. I'm gonna tap into what we call the P incident. It happened about 15, 16 years ago. I was running a game for some local kids. Most of them were 10, 12, 11, 13 years old. And I was running a scenario where they're trapped in an inn that is surrounded by vampires, or not vampires, but werewolves. And they have to defend the inn and a lady and her daughter and some moral things. And we had one kid who, for some reason, decided to sit away from the rest of the group. So I'd catch myself, like I'd look over at the group and I'd look back to him, and I wasn't going to let this opportunity pass itself by. And this young gentleman was 12 years old. Anyways, I finally got him to look away from me when I was giving descriptions and look at the rest of the party. And the second he did that at the table, I launched over the screen as a werewolf and growled at him. And this young man sat there and gave this huge wide-eyed look of fear. And then slowly his eyes dropped down below the table. And he looks back up with this look of horror, and he says, "I just pissed myself." That's probably one of my most memorable experiences.
And I've never been the same since. Thank you.
Oh, Ty. Oh, that's awesome. All right, so we just got one more question lined up here for you. We'll get you finished off and plate you up for everybody else. The last question is a little more on the philosophical side, so please feel free to expand in that direction. The question is, why do you game?
Easy answer is it's in my blood. I mean, I think I found it so young in my life. Anymore though, it's kind of evolved from the simple answer of it being in my blood to what it provides me. I mean, the escape that gaming provides, the bond you form with people. It allows you to explore things that you normally wouldn't want to in real life, morals and everything like that. But I mean, the easy answer is it's in my blood. I'm kind of called to do it, I guess you could say.
Nice. Well, that is all we have for our questions, and you've past our grilling session. We got you seasoned up for everybody else. So the prize that you have won is now the ability to ask us questions. So if you have any questions you want to ask the panel that we have here, you want to type questions into the chat, that's totally cool. If you have a question that you want to address, like for everybody to answer, we can go ahead and have you do that, and then you just kind of pick and choose who answers the question next to right or right to left or whatever. So welcome to the group and welcome to the call, and appreciate having you step in tonight.
Thanks a lot.
The prize is valued at $376,412.52, not redeemable for cash value. No warranty is expressed or implied.
No warranty. Well, I'm glad I don't have a warranty because God knows that I screw up enough that I would constantly be granting warranty payouts. I mean, it's just awful.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist throwing the prize disclaimer in there after Cheppy doing disclaimers all night.
Cheppy, you are a cheap prize. I mean, I'm sure you're a cheap date too, but a couple rupees and some vodka.
There's a rumor going around that all you need to get Cheppy is mixing two different genres together, and he'll fall for you. I don't know if that's true or not.
So Deadlands Noir, that's what I'm hearing. Wild West meets Noir New Orleans. I'm okay with that.
Cheppy, you in?
Yeah, he's typing.
I was already in Deadlands Noir before it ever existed. I already knew of it. So, yes, I would love to try Deadlands Noir at some point.
I knew about it before it existed because I remember John Goff talking about editing it. One of the advantages of knowing the Sandbaggers, you meet all kinds of cool people.
The Sandbaggers, is this like a...
It's a game club.
I was going to say like a gamers cult or something?
Yeah, it's a gamers club. I used to game up there 2 nights a week in Great Falls. I lived in Great Falls, Montana for 2 years, so I used to game with them 2 nights a week. It's where I got exposed to Song Ice and Fire, Underground, Tales of the Floating Vagabond, Feng Shui, a lot of Euro board games.
It's a great group of gamers up there. I just don't like the town very much.
Well, there's some good games. Most of them are good gamers. There's a couple that are toxic though, and they actually, Scott up there that used to be up there, with his wife.
Not sure.
Anyways, Scott used to be up there, and I know you know who Jeff Watson is because anybody in Montana who games knows who Jeff Watson is. He chased Scott off.
Yeah, there's a lot of drama in the Montana gaming scene. I mean, you think Great Falls is bad, Missoula's even worse. Missoula is the most cliquish frickin' place in the world when it comes down to gaming.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you were talking about not liking Justin Barbara. I can see how you don't like him. He can be kind of pompous.
Kind of.
Well, I mean, to me, he's kind of pompous. To you, he's probably really pompous. But to me, even as somebody who actually doesn't mind him, he's kind of pompous. So I can see how you don't like him.
No, my problem with Justin just started recently. I'm not going to tear the guy down, but
he's a good guy.
He made some comments here at our local comic gaming shop in public on a very busy day concerning Terry Brooks and the failure to get R.A. Salvatore. Terry Brooks was coming here no matter what, but I don't know if people realize that R.A. Salvatore is actually one of Terry Brooks' best friends.
Oh, yeah,
And
I knew that.
Terry was trying to get R.A. to come, but he's under contract to WotC because WotC owns his ass and all of his writing. And Barba, in a very public forum, made some very unkind comments about Mr. Salvatore that I, for one, know that if Terry Brooks were to have heard it, he would have pulled out of the con. And it's that kind of mentality in gaming that just drives me nuts.
Well, and like I said, there's some people up there that can be very toxic people. Jeff Watson's very toxic. I mean, you can't be around him. He's horribly toxic. He almost got me to table flip at a game and punch him in the throat.
Wow.
He started an argument with me that got so loud, I stopped 3 other games.
I've actually been punched at a table for killing somebody's character.
No, it wasn't that. Jeff Watson told me I had to roleplay the way he wanted me to, or I wasn't doing it right.
Not fun.
So I almost table flipped, punched him in the throat, and walked off. Instead, I threw my character sheet at Robert Thompson, who was running the game, and walked off.
We need to have like a reality show D&D. What is it? Montana edition. It sounds like This Week Great Drama. I mean, people watch Duck Dynasty and other stuff like that. You know, there's definitely room for this.
Seriously, all joking aside, Forged is not joking. There is a lot of cliquish drama in the Montana gaming community. People are very tight with their groups, and they do not open up to new people very well.
Ooh, Dice Dynasty. We could do that. We could do Dice Dynasty. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
But yeah, I have definitely. I do miss the sandbaggers up there, though. I still talk to a couple of them. Do you know Benjamin Donnelly from over there at all?
No, not really.
He always runs the BattleTech games at MissCon. So Ben's a great dude. I still talk to him all the time. He's a lot of fun. I used to play in his BattleTech games every chance I got because he's so much fun at Battle. He knows a lot about it.
Yeah, this year's con's gonna be interesting because they don't have Joker's Wild anymore.
Really?
Yeah, it got sold and torn down.
Oh, that sucks. So where are they going to put the wargaming?
All of it's at Ruby's.
Well, I mean, where at Ruby's are they going to put the wargamers? Are they going to put them in? They going to put them in a big hall in a conference hall?
Yeah, they're gonna. There's the the room that the merchant.
The dealer's room. Yeah, the dealer's room.
Yeah, that's where they're gonna put it and split the room.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Put them in the dealer's room would make the most sense. But yeah, I miss MissCon. It was fun the year I went. I mean, I went on the silver anniversary. So, and actually, one of my favorite gaming stories comes from that con. I was playing in Greg Schneider's Epic game. I know you know Greg Schneider because, again, you're in Montana gaming community, you know Greg Schneider. Greg Schneider's running the game, and I sneak off with an Elvish princess. My character sneaks off with an Elvish princess. And we're going to do the deed, and he goes, roll stamina for me. I look down at my sheet. I see I have climbing as a skill, and I go, does climbing count? I stopped the game cold for at least 20 minutes. It was one of the best things ever. I love his games. He introduced me to quite a few systems that I had never really looked at. I played in a Space Master game of his one time. I played in his Desolation 3-shot. I played in a couple of his con games at MissCon. He's a really good GM. He's a good guy.
So I have a question. We have a couple of people in here who play a lot of different systems. Most people that I'm familiar with in the brigade and elsewhere in gaming groups, a lot of it's focused on Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to ask people or tell people about just one game that you think that they should get into that's not D&D, what would it be?
Let me think about that for a second.
And I'll actually pose that to everybody, that wants to answer it. So if you're interested in answering it, just put it in chat, and I'll come to you.
I'll throw that up there. Throw one out there for you that you guys probably never. Come on out. Cheppy, I need it in one of your Maid games. You need to let me know when one of them's coming up, and if I'm available, I need to play. I haven't played Maid in a long time.
Cheppy, you would recommend Maid, I'm guessing?
No.
What would? Are you being sarcastic? What game would you play or recommend rather?
I will. Just one?
Yep, just one.
I'll recommend my favorite game so more people will play with me. Numina.
I'd play
All
with
right.
Chepe. I'm right behind you, buddy. You do a one shot, let me know. If it's a day I'm available, I'll play. I'm serious. I love that game.
Robert, you got anything?
That's a hard one. It all depends on who the group is, but
Nope, just in general. Like, which one do you like second best to D&D, or what do you like more than D&D, or whatever?
I'd say Fate probably,
Good call.
just because it's easy and pretty much anybody can pick it up, and you pretty much have to like role play.
Okay.
So
Ty, do you have anything?
Fate would be probably a good choice. I don't know if it's my second favorite to D&D, but as far as like teaching somebody who's new to role playing, I would say that would be a top choice.
Anything that is second to D&D that you'd recommend?
For beginners, probably not.
Well, no, not necessarily beginners. Just people who've only played D&D and want to get into other systems.
Oh, who've only played D&D? I like Deadlands a lot. I still do. I still like the original rules, but you can play Savage World now, or there's even a D20 version, but I didn't think the D20 version was all that.
D20 was terrible.
Yeah. But Deadlands, probably my second favorite. Maybe after that, Shadowrun, but it would probably depend on the version of Shadowrun.
Okay. Joe, did you have any games that you'd recommend besides D&D?
Oh, I mean, everything that I've done has been pretty much fantasy based. I mean, are we talking strictly role playing?
Well, any game that is tabletop, role-playing, whatever.
Well, there's all kinds of tabletop games. I mean, something that is simple for people to get into, but still asks for minor amounts of role playing. I'm a huge fan of Hero Quest. I always have been. Played that game when I was, 11, 12 years old or whatever with my uncle, my family. That's something that is, I think, a good introduction to role playing and to the world of fantasy and D&D and stuff. So I guess that would be something that is, especially trying to get new people into something like that. I would start them off on that. Just get them on the table. Just say, here's your character, do what you want, kind of thing. So
All right.
I guess my answer.
Forged or Charles?
Maybe a toss-up. Anything that's Ubiquity system, All for One, Hollow Earth Expedition, All for One, of course, or another system that we just recently came into is Victoriana, but I'd say Ubiquity because of ease.
Okay, I might have to check out some of these. Chepe, you said you wanted to change yours?
Yeah, well, if something that's just like completely off the wall for a lot of people, and some of the best GMing advice, especially for someone who's new, that I've found is in this particular game, Interest Bay. Like, I think Robert can agree with me on that. Like, Interest Bay is like a fantastic game. You can do. It makes a great party game. It also makes a great campaign. It just does everything. It's neat little game.
Yeah, the GM section is really nice, and I enjoy the game. So I like Silver and 20, and it's both.
Dan, did you have anything? No? All right. Hey, Christopher. Welcome to the call, man.
What's up? What's up, gentlemen?
Not a whole lot. Anything going on tonight with you?
Just got done with a session with Keith Hershey with Fantasy Grounds, doing a little Fantasy Grounds 101 tutorial tour. Did that, and that was pretty cool. And
Just got done finishing up a adventure I got ready for my Saturday group. So yeah, everything's going cool.
Keith Hershey's my boy.
Yes, sir.
Although, back to your question, you were bouncing around before.
Yeah.
Christopher jumped in here. I think the only one who hasn't answered yet. I do Leverage in a heartbeat. Leverage is my favorite game of all time. I don't care what people say. It's a freaking caper game. You pull off capers. And it's so easy to run, so easy to play, and it absolutely is amazing system-wise. Cortex Plus captures the feel of the caper better than any system I've ever seen try to run that type of game. I've never seen a game that can run a heist scenario the way that Leverage does. Ever.
So, thanks for all the advice. I do kind of have a follow-up question on this. Christopher, Joe's going to probably talk to you in chat in just a second to kind of bring you up to speed on what we do here. I don't suppose you've watched any of our broadcasts before?
I watched the very first one, but there's so many videos on this community, it's insane.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Thanks for jumping in, though. I'll have Joe type to you what we'd like you to do if you're willing. Okay, go ahead, Joe. So my follow-up question to you guys based on that is: are any of these games free content?
Negatory, not mine. It's a Margaret Weiss Productions game.
Okay. And
Fate is pay what you want. I would suggest paying them some money because it's a good game.
Okay. Anyone else, Chepe? The game you suggested, Idris Bay or Maid?
Idris Bay and Maid both do not have free versions.
Okay.
I could suggest a free game. If you're experienced GM, I would definitely try out Eclipse Phase because it's definitely something completely different. If you're newer, then I would definitely just go with Fate Accelerated, Fate, or Basic.
Okay. Victoriana, is that?
No, that's not free, and neither are the Ubiquity system games.
Yeah, no, I'm only asking that as a follow-up because I know that there are some really great free games that just for whatever reason don't get, a lot of attention. And I don't do a whole lot of the other systems, and I feel bad because I'm interested in a lot of things. I just haven't made the time to do it because I've been doing so much with D&D forever, and I want to get some other type of content on the channel besides just the D&D stuff for the dice side of it. What we plan to do is obviously gaming, tabletop, and card gaming. And that kind of thing. So I'm just looking for, great suggestions for different systems that I should look into. And go ahead.
Can I interpose a question there? What
Sure.
do you like to do? What kind of gaming do you like to do? Do you like high fantasy? Do you like cyberpunk? Or are you one of those people like me? I can play anything you put in front of me. So
I'd like to think that I'm like that I can pretty much do anything, and that's what I want to find out. I want to find out if that's accurate or not because. I've only played with, my friends and stuff, and of course I'm going to enjoy mostly anything I play in real life with friends, but I kind of want to see if I can game, online. Not that people online aren't my friends, but with people I don't know yet, quite as well just yet.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Hang on. Let's see if I can find my videos here. I got a couple videos of game sessions I ran. So let me bring them up.
I want to change my answer to anything Palladium.
No. Evil. How dare you make that suggestion? That's punishable by death. You know that.
Hey, you cut your teeth on Thaco, I cut it on Palladium.
I know, I'm just taking on
once
you, man.
Once you conquer those things,
everything else is easy. You're like, I cut my teeth on Thaco. I cut my teeth on Palladium. So is any game difficult for you? Only Fatal. I have refused to solve quadratic equations to figure out the size of a druid circle.
That's awesome. So we had somebody tell me of a game, and I don't remember the name of it, where you can actually die during the character creation process.
Traveler. And by the way, guys, last night that guy that told me I was wrong about the Iron Man role for Traveler and Mongoose was wrong. It's an optional role. I looked it up. Page 79 of the Traveler Rulebook for Mongoose. Iron Man became an optional role.
Look at that. Called out.
Well, no, I just knew I knew that I had read that in the freaking rulebook, and he's sitting there telling me I was stupid. I was like, no, I know what I'm talking about, dude. I've read the rules.
So would you consider yourself like a rules lawyer then, or not so much?
No. I don't rules lawyer in games. But if like you're talking raw and you're sitting there telling me something I know I read is wrong, I'm gonna go throughout. Like I'm gonna go tear the book apart to prove you wrong.
That's awesome.
Because I know what I saw. I know what I read. I'm not completely nuts, just mostly.
Oh, the Hag joined the call again. Awesome.
There we go. Get that window
What's
open.
up, Chelsea?
Get some. Wonder if she can't talk again tonight.
No, sorry. I had my speakers plugged in instead of my headset, and it was like blaring through the room. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's awake now.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
No, it's okay, guys. It's okay. He said last night he prefers me to talk over typing because my typing is mind grading because it's tick 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 tick.
You got to get that soft touch keyboard.
I got one of those mechanical keyboards, so it's like it's impossible to type quietly on it.
See, look at that. You gotta save up some money and get yourself one of those soft touch ones.
This keyboard was $160.
Yeah, but soft touch isn't that expensive.
But
Yeah.
I like my shiny keyboards. It's all pretty and they
I'm
glow.
I'm
just glad that my power supply was under warranty because I didn't have $130 to buy a new one.
That would suck. So, Joe, I think we've got Chris all caught up here and ready to be grilled. Is that right?
Yeah, sounds like it. He said he was down for going through the grilling process. So, Christopher,
Awesome.
we're gonna queue you up, I think.
All right, go ahead and get that grill started, Joe. Chelsea, were you grilled the other night? I think you were, but I don't recall. I just want to make sure.
No, we weren't.
I
I
have
don't know if we
no
were
idea
live
what's
that
going
time.
on.
Oh, we're gonna grill Chelsea too. This is great. All right. So
Well, if you grill me, I'm glad Robert's not in the same room with me, so he might try to eat me.
Hey. Okay, maybe.
You know, at some point we're gonna have to come up with some grill background sound or something, so we can actually get the grill sound popping and stuff. But we'll have to work on that. We'll have to get our sound designer on some background music for us or background sound.
I don't know if that was any good. I don't think you guys could hear it.
All right. Well, Christopher, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Chelsea, make sure you listen up because you're gonna be next. So.
Oh, goody. Okay.
Christopher, as you know, we like to introduce people into our Hangout and the group that we have here, and just try to get to know each other a little bit better. So we just had the 4 simple questions. They're not meant to be all that difficult, but they are meant to give you a chance to express the things that you enjoy and all that kind of good stuff. So, first question is, what got you into D&D or tabletop gaming?
The thing that got me into D&D was basically I've been a nerd my whole entire life, and being from where I came from, you don't get a chance to stretch those particular type of muscles. You know, you're either a thug or you're a jock from the hood that plays basketball. There's no other variation. So when I was in school, me being the way that I am, I became friends with a lot of different, type of people. It just wasn't all black people. It was other, races and stuff. Well, one time, a couple of my buddies were playing D&D outside the library in school. I think I was in middle school at the time. Yeah, it was a whole lifetime ago. But they were playing. They was like, "Hey, why don't you, try it out?" So I tried it out, and then from that day, I was hooked. And I've been gaming, and then I eventually turned DM, and I've just never looked back. And the most exciting times in my life was having fun, sitting around the table with a bunch of good people, having fun playing games.
Nice, excellent. And actually, amazingly, that leads into our next question, sort of. So I'm going to go ahead and jump on that one. Do you consider yourself a DM, a player, a content provider, or any or all of the above?
I'm definitely a player and a DM, but more of a DM. I started off as a player, and I cut my teeth for a long time on being a player, and through necessity, I ended up becoming a DM. And at first, I couldn't stand it because it was something that was kind of forced upon me. But like I said, through necessity. But as I, came to do it, I just started to fall in love with it. Being able to tell a story, being able to let your creative juices flow in a different direction that they probably wouldn't be able to go in any other type of format of, gaming or what have you. And so that's what really attracts me to role-playing games. The ability to tell a great story and to take the people who are actually willing to go on that journey with you, put them in the story. So when it's all said and done, you've had a great woven story that lasts for years. Like a favorite movie of all time, you can watch it, several times in a year, and it doesn't get boring, and you're more just as excited to talk about it as the first day you've seen it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that for me, something like that is Doctor Who, where it has that longevity. I can sit and talk about it for years because it's been around for years. And like you're saying, having that experience that you have that you can share with everyone, I think is awesome. All right. So next up, our third question in the grueling session is go ahead and feel free to expand on a story in this one because it's your space to say what you want. It's the best experience in role playing or tabletop gaming, something that you'd be willing to share with us.
Best experience I've ever had was basically actually the very first campaign I ever ran. I was scared shitless, but at least I was around a whole bunch of my friends, so if I screwed up, they wouldn't assassinate me, or at least I thought they wouldn't anyway. So I was feeling good about that. So it just started off. This is back in second edition. So I had the party, basically running patrols up and down from Suzelle down, down south to the nearest town and then back again. That's all it was supposed to be starting off, and then from there it started off this grand adventure that lasted almost I think it was about a year and a half that it lasted, and
Wow.
the players went from level 1, and by the time we stopped, um, I think they were all like level 11, and just saying it like that doesn't do it justice. Hearing the stories of what happened, they survived going through Ravenloft, coming back. They survived the Tomb of Horrors. Got out of that alive, and just another, just all these little mini adventures too. And they had to bury one of their own, and the it was a character that I made. I never even thought that I would even play at all, but I played her one time, and the other players got hooked on that character. She was nothing but a female bard, first level, and she died at first level. But the story that she was woven into got the players so connected to her when she finally died. She died. She sacrificed herself to save the party, and two of the five players at the table actually cried during the funeral of the character. So yeah, that was definitely a awesome experience, and you don't get that type of feeling from watching a movie because it's so railroady, it's so direct, going in one direction. And when you have a DM that tells a great story, once again, it's that thing that just lasts forever.
Yeah, we have a guy on our call quite often, and he's done some of our gaming. His name's David. He said the same thing, that the best, if you can get an emotional reaction out of the players, that's the best thing that you can have happen. And not even just as a DM, but as a player too. To whether it's crying or laughing or whatever it is, that emotional connection I think is really where it's at. Like
Oh
you
yeah.
said, you can't get from anywhere else, and that's awesome.
Yep.
Okay, last question. We're almost through with that grilling session here for you. Gonna plate you up and serve you out to everybody else. The last question on this one, I don't mind a little philosophy with it. Feel free to get a little philosophical. So the question is, why do you game?
It's one of those questions that's very easy to ask but hard to answer.
Absolutely, that's why we do it.
Basically, the reason why I game is because my mindset is different than from a lot of people that's around me. They're way over here. Well, I'm always over here. It doesn't matter what they're doing or how they try to incorporate me into what they're doing. I always just feel out of place. I've always felt that my whole entire life. You know, uh, I'm not. I wasn't black enough for the homies, and I wasn't white enough for the the white people in school. So I was always kind of in that limbo. And role playing kind of gave me that outlet and that camaraderie, because when you are in a gaming group, it's not black, it's not white, it's just gamers. It doesn't matter if you're from Mexico or you're from Australia or wherever you're from. When you sit at that table, you're just players, and there's a DM, and all that racial stuff that people have to deal with on a daily basis, unless it's put into the game on purpose, it doesn't exist. And that's the reason why I game.
Awesome. I really appreciate everybody that shares those sorts of, that internal feeling of this is important to me, and I really appreciate you sharing that with us. And welcome to the group. And I think you're all served up. So what you win is being somebody who is past the grilling session. You now have the ability and the time and chance to ask us questions. That's what you win. I know it's an amazing gift that we get to part on to you guys. So no, the idea is that if you have any questions you want to ask to the group, obviously feel free to voice that, or you can type it in the chat if you want to. If you want to ask a question that goes out to every person, feel free to direct traffic and call us by name. Say go left to right or right to left or whatever it is. But go ahead and serve it up for everybody else. So I appreciate you coming on and having a good time with us.
Awesome. Well, it may be a lame prize to you, but to me, that's one of the coolest prizes. Of course, we all like money or some swag or whatever, but having knowledge of people's experiences, it makes it when you actually get a chance to game with those people. It's not just okay. It's that person that I know online that I game with. You know something personal about that person, and when your character interacts with their character, it's not just two characters just talking to each other like role play wise or shooting shit. It builds a connection, and it builds a camaraderie that can't be broken over distances of like states or countries. It brings that emotional part into the game. So like, say for instance, I was playing a character and Robert was playing a character. Well, me and Robert know each other a little bit, but now our characters know each other. But me knowing Robert, other than just it's just some person I know online, his character gets in trouble, I'm going to be inclined to maybe do something heroic or stupid. All depends on what type of situation is going on, to be able to save his character's life. It's not just, well, if I do this, I'm gonna look cool, and people will be like, "Oh man, Christopher's so fucking cool. He did that." No, it becomes something personal, and that's what it's all about, and that's where the great stories come from, also.
Absolutely, and I mean this is gonna, it's something that Brendan and I, just as friends in real life, and then player and DM sort of hanging out and just doing our thing. We started up this channel and we said, well, what are we gonna do with this? And we didn't really have an idea initially, but when we started doing these hangouts and people started to come in and we started asking questions and started to get to know the players behind the characters, I think that's something that we need to do more often. Like you said, have a connection with that person you're playing with. It's not just some dude or some woman that you have across, the internet that you may never ever see again. Get a chance to connect with them and actually make something that's more special out of what you get in your gaming sessions. So I think that's really important. And I don't think that we do enough of that these days. And if if we're able to offer a forum that can invite more people in to do that, that's what we're gonna do, and that's why we do our hangouts. That's why we ask our 4 questions, all that kind of stuff. It just kind of evolved into what we thought was important, and I think that is important. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as far as a question that I need to ask, I ramble on for way too long. Sound like Chepe or. The question that I have, and I'll start with Robert on this one first. Okay, while he's stuffing his face. Robert, what is your passion for gaming? What form of the gaming process just really gets you pumped up? Like just before a game, what do you think about that gets you totally psyched up for a game?
That's a hard one. So pure game. I mean, you just hit on the whole community thing. So that's definitely like high on the list. But pure gaming. I don't know.
Well, let me make it more focused. Say that you're just a player. Somebody's running the game for you, and you're just a player. What gets you psyched up? What's your thought process? What do you do to get psyched up for a game?
It depends on what kind of character and all these things. But the one thing that I like more than anything else, whether it's reading books, watching TV, whatever, is to be surprised. I like not knowing what's going to happen and being surprised about something, and just not knowing what's going to happen is that's what excites me the most. If I'm playing a particular character, like I'll try to get into my character. If it's a one shot, it's the not knowing what's going to happen because you jump in and I don't prepare too much for my characters. I like to kind of get the feel of everyone else and how the game's going, But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what gets me excited, not knowing, the excitement of seeing somebody else's story, something I didn't have to make,
Yeah, I hear you on that one. All right, Kyle, I'll kick it over to you. You're a player, DM's running the game, you're getting ready to game. What gets you psyched up for the game?
Honestly, it's the genre. It depends the genre that I'm in the mood to play. If I'm joining the game, I typically am joining it because I really want to play that feeling type of game. If I want to run a cyberpunk game, I'm going to typically play Shadowrun. I want to play D&D, fantasy game, I typically play D&D. And honestly, it just psychs me up I'll actually start reading books and stories and stuff about the setting I'm getting ready to run in because I have nothing but unlimited time most of the time. So I actually got bored one night and was talking about running a Call of Cthulhu game, and somebody suggested I run a game based on Robert Heinlein's house about a Tesseract, story about a Tesseract house. And I actually went out and read the Tesseract house story because it was just that's what gets me excited about games, is to see what kind of inspiration there is for different characters I can play or whatever. Unfortunately, I don't get to play as much as I would like, so I have to do a lot of it as a GM.
Yeah, I feel you. I definitely feel you on that one. Okay, Joe, we'll shoot it over to you now. You're a player. DM's getting ready to start the session off. Game time is 3 minutes out. What gets you pumped up to get ready to sit down and get ready to play?
A couple different things. Number one, sort of what Robert was saying is the something new. the unexpectedness of it, and what am I going to find here in around the corner, especially with an open world game, rather than a movie where it's like you're saying being railroaded, where even though you go see a really awesome movie, you generally have an idea what's going to happen. Not very many movies can pull off a surprise. There are some out there which are very well done, which do that. So the surprise around the next corner is one. Number two, I do enjoy the strategy portions of some of that, where I can try to plan ahead. The mind games, you're not necessarily beating the DM at the game itself, but trying to incorporate other people in your thought process and that kind of thing. And then really the companionship, having other people that are sharing the time with you, having fun, laughing, joking. I mean, you can play a really serious campaign and a really serious character, but you can still enjoy the time you're doing it and that kind of thing. So I think those three things are really big for me, and that's why I try to do as much as I can and try to be, a good time at the table. So that's my answer.
Awesome. Nice posters back there, by the way. Nice.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
All right, moving on to this guy. I'm scared to even say his name, so I think he might beat me up or something. I'm just gonna go to him next. You get ready to play a game. The DM is, say, hey, everybody, sit down. Let's get ready to play. How do you get pumped up for a game? What psychs you up to play a game?
Who are you switching over to?
The next person for I can't even see his name. It was too long.
It's Forged?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, Forged at the table.
Yeah, I didn't want to say your name.
No, that's all right.
Whip my ass or something. So.
No. I ask my wife, man. I'm a lot meaner looking than I really am. As a player, I can't really answer that question because, like I said earlier, I spent all my time in 30-some years as a GM. Honestly, the last time I played as a player was about 12 years ago. But I can answer your question from a GM side, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's cool.
What gets me pumped for every single session is the fact that I run almost all my games are very wide open, sandbox, and organic. So I love, and what gets me pumped up is seeing how the players take my ideas and my story threads, and when I put them on the table in front of them, seeing how they change them and seeing how they interact with them and seeing what they come up with. For me, that takes me to another level. That's the whole reason why I do this. That and the camaraderie and stuff that comes along with sitting at a table.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Because like you being a DM, you can say, okay, well, I'm setting up this way, and they should go this way. But when they totally just go into left field and like, wow, I would have never thought of that. That's definitely cool. Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Okay, we'll shoot it over to the person name that I do know, Chris from Drop Dice. You being a player, getting ready to sit down and play, what gets you pumped up for the game,
man? I play in a lot of sandbox style campaigns, so for like campaigns for me, a lot of it, like the first 3 or 4 games, it's a lot of me having the excitement of discovering who my character is, where they fit in the world, so it's kind of the flip side of his last response. But I like the social aspect and kind of discovering like who the team is and what the team comprises of. Which the nice part about doing all these one-shots online is the fact that almost every game is a little bit of discovery right at the beginning.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Chris. Okay, moving over to Chelsea. DM Nighthead. What gets you pumped up for the game? What really just gets you psyched up and just over the moon excited to get ready to play?
I don't think I get excited. I think I get nervous. Honestly. I get more nervous than anything, and maybe it's nervous excitement. But I get like a little tongue-tied, and I'll start talking to myself a bit and like kind of prepping things in my head, and that's how I do it. I mentally prep. It's all in my head.
Oh, that's all right. Hey, all of us DMs have our own ways of prepping for games. I actually kind of go to that place that I don't normally go because it's bad. I save it for games. So like if something really gets like really disgusting or overly graphic, that's me going to that place I don't normally go because it's bad. But that's once again, that's why I love doing what I do, because I get to tap into that. Because if you start talking about that stuff to other people, they're gonna like, oh, okay, this motherfucker crazy.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
they gonna try to lock your ass up. Some of the stuff that goes through your head. So you got that outlet to get that out, so it doesn't build up. You turn into a fucking serial killer or something.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think that's exactly what it is. Because if I go into a game as a player as myself, I'm just gonna be a goofball the whole time.
Yeah, I think that's the main rule of role playing. Never play yourself. Tap into that spot of your mind that you need to be into and play that. Don't play yourself, because I mean, come on, being yourself is boring because you do it every day. Do something else. All right, moving over to the host. What gets you psyched up for either gaming or DMing?
Me?
No, I think.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. What gets me psyched up for the game? Just finally being able to tell the story, show the world, meet the players. Like if we're talking before session 0, even for example, and you're bringing on people who aren't real life friends, I really just enjoy the. I don't want to say like release, but like you get all that anticipation built up, and the fact that you're finally gaming, and you're able to unleash your imagination on the players, or if you are a player, unleash your character on the world. Kind of combining both what Chris had said and what I believe Kyle had said. With regards to the setting and their characters. I just find the whole ball of wax interesting for me, and that's what I thrive off of.
Yeah. That's definitely another aspect of DMing that I really enjoy, being able to unleash your thoughts and put them down on paper or a virtual tabletop, and then just to see where it goes. So, yeah, that's definitely awesome. All right, Dan, let's kick it over to you, my man. What gets you hyped up for a game? What really gets your juices flowing before you sit down and play a game?
Honestly, yeah, it's just the camaraderie. Being able to hang out. Sorry, being able to hang out with friends. And be able to take my mindset into a world that wish was real.
Yeah. Awesome, cool. Now we're gonna move over here to Chepe Le Pepe, Emperor Palpatine of the Facebook groups here. What? I'm scared to ask him this question. What gets you hyped up for a game, Chepe? Like, is it the preparation or the actual game itself? What really gets you into it?
As a player, as a GM?
Either one, sir.
The two things that are similar with me for both are genre, first and foremost, and then also group dynamics, because if I can already ascertain that there's going to be like certain interactions at play because of the particular personalities, and especially if I know what kinds of characters they're playing, then I could really enjoy seeing some things unfold. I like my mind starts processing at what could happen, and I find that really engaging. Other than that, like reading inspirations, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Just thinking about possibilities and things that could happen is typically what gets me into it.
Cool. Awesome. Chelsea has something to say before we move on. Okay, Chelsea, go ahead.
Well, as I was sitting here thinking about what you said about how you don't want to play yourself, I actually think I disagree with it a bit, because I think every character I play is a version of myself. I think.
Similar
Okay.
aspects to yourself. Yeah, I
Yeah.
I usually introduce new players to RPGs by telling them take like one feature of yourself and kind of further exemplify that feature. So like say you have somebody who's interested in reading a lot. Maybe their character happens to be a mage and reading and finding spells is a big part of who that character is. It gives them something to kind of understand where role playing starts.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's kind of natural. I think most people interject a little something of themselves into a character.
I can agree with that. Yeah, it gives you something to relate to. Like, if you've never role played before and you're just doing something like taking on a character that's totally like a complete opposite of what you really are, of course you're going to have trouble associating yourself with it. So yeah, if you attach a little bit of yourself or part of your psyche or whatever to that character, yeah, it definitely kind of eases
Well,
that transition.
well, even then, they're complete opposite of yourself. You still have something to grasp onto. It's the opposite of yourself. You know what I mean? It's something that's still tangible. You know,
Yeah,
because it's completely opposite from you.
right.
Back when I was a teenager, I think I've told a couple of you guys I went to a performing arts academy. And during drama class, one of the hardest practices I ever participated in was one where you were supposed to visualize 7 different personas of yourself all at once. And if you actually try doing that, it's extremely difficult. But if you can succeed in doing it, it's supposed to basically really make you come together as a person, because basically the gist is you're supposed to visualize 7 different versions of yourself sitting in a field, and then you're supposed to visualize all those personas coming together to your central person. And it was a practice we did a lot to get into character.
That's cool.
hmm
Okay, I guess we can go ahead and kick. Oh, Kyle, he had something, a question,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I was going to throw a question out just to see how everyone responds to this, because I'm doing my 30 days of D&D thing, and I got to day 16, which is, what is everyone's favorite aberration? This is an interesting monster type to see where everyone goes with it. Personally, I'm a worm that walks guy, so good old Cthulhu monster.
Well, who's going to take this one? Chepe, let's kick it over to you. I know you got something to say about this one.
Give me a minute.
I don't want to give you a minute.
You talk now.
Just tell me what you're thinking.
Get to the conversation.
There's so many.
I know. Aberrations are amazing.
You said my favorite type of monster.
Aberration. No, it's an aberration. Favorite aberration.
Yeah, aberration, right?
Yeah.
It's my favorite type of monster.
But the question is, what's your favorite type of monster?
I don't have one.
How can you not have a favorite aberration? They're aberrations.
Yeah, because there's so many good ones.
Beholders, illithids, worms that walk, ettercaps, cloakers.
None of those are really the ones that I really like, though.
How can you not like illithids? Brain-eating monsters.
I actually never really cared for illithids.
You must be one of those weirdos that doesn't like Spelljammer.
I'll just say that that's my favorite.
Illithid.
Wait,
Mind control and brain eaters.
I'm one of those weirdos.
How are Naga's aberrations?
Read what an aberration is. They're perfect description. They're perfectly aligned with the aberrations.
I guess I'm a purist. I like beholders. I'm just purist. The first time I ever came against a beholder, I don't know if it was just a simple fact of I read about it in the book and then I didn't read about it for a while and all of a sudden I had to go up against it, or seeing the picture or how it was, the DM was describing it to me. It just scared the shit out of me.
My
So,
legitimate question is, was it a normal vanilla beholder, or was it like a death tyrant?
back then it was just definitely the regular vanilla beholder.
I love the
Oh.
vanilla beholder, but death tyrants have a special place in my heart for them.
For
They're
me, it's
so
a tie between Vampiric Mist, Rust Monster, Nagas, and Will-O-Wisps.
Will-O-Wisp are actually very underused.
My favorite is an underused one too.
Which one
I
is
like
that?
the Grix just because I think it's a cool monster.
Ooh, good call.
Yeah, good one, Chris. Good one.
I like the Beholders for the classic reason of it, but I like Grix for some reason. I don't know what it is. They just never really get seen, and I think the weird tentacle beaked thing not very fun to come across.
Yeah.
I got a question. Is sheep and wolves clothing, is that an aberration? Because I like that.
Don't know if it's an aberration or not. I wanted to go with the Otug, but then I realized I don't know if the Otug is actually an aberration or not. Because Otugs are awesome. You ever want to mess with your players? Have them fall in a trash pit and get attacked by an Otug. It's even better than giving them mummy rot.
You know, they used to be so easy to beat in 5th edition. They kind of beefed them up.
Yeah, 3.5 they were cannon fodder.
Yeah, they're an aberration still.
Are they still? Sweet. But you really want to mess with the people, though. You throw them in a room when they're in a bunch of trash, and they're going to try to safely traverse this room full of trash, and an Otug comes out and just starts beating them half to death. It's hilarious. I'll never forget playing Baldur's Gate 2. One of the first monsters you fight in Baldur's Gate 2 is an Otug. And you have to fight him as you're going outside, and it's stupid.
Never went against one, but I've read up enough on it, and yeah, that's something I definitely don't want to have to mess with.
Well, yesterday was Undead, and I almost put in Mummy Lord. Instead, I went with Demi Lich, because I think Demi Liches are just hilarious. They can steal half the party's soul before they can do anything about it. But Mummy Lords are so disturbing. Oh, look, I'm a high-level cleric on top of the fact that I can give you disease that slowly kills you.
Yeah, they're definitely dangerous.
The only person safe in the party is the paladin and a high-level monk. Everyone else is screwed because they're getting hit at least once.
Right.
I'll never. That's the thing. I never forget that. If anybody ever played the Infinity Engine games, what was it? Icewind Dale, I think it is. You have to go through an undead tomb, and there's all these mummies all over the place. And I swear to God, I spent a good third of that dungeon killing a mummy, running back to town, getting cure diseased, coming back, killing another mummy, going back, getting cured disease because 4 out of 6 characters were mummy rotted. Never forget that dungeon. Some of the dungeons in Icewind Dale, the original Icewind Dale, are just mean. You have to go through a Yuan-Tai dungeon, and there's Yuan-Tai everywhere, and there's purebloods and abominations everywhere, and it's ridiculous. I missed that game. Need to play it again.
Okay. Well, I guess we should give the show back to the host, I guess. I think that'll be the decent thing to do, I guess.
Who's in it for decency?
Oh, we let everybody else talk just as much as we do, though. So I don't really have. I mean, that as I kind of said, that's just why we do it. Give that open forum for people to. Did Brendan leave for the night?
Okay, well, let's flip the question around. What's the stupidest? What's the absolutely most inconceivable monster that's in the monster manual? The dumbest monster in the book?
I did not leave for the night. Joe just fell out. That's interesting. So I'll actually answer the question that you posed before, the favorite aberration. When you first said it, I thought you said, what's your favorite apparition? And I'm like, oh, he wants to know what our favorite ghosts are. Interesting. Aberration. My favorite aberration is actually going to have to be the Elder Brain.
Ooh, nice one.
Ooh, I will definitely have to. Oh, that's nice. That's a nice one. I ran through, I guess. Honestly, my favorite monster type isn't aberrations. I think aberrations are fun, but I honestly think my favorite monster type is draconic. I've killed people with dragon turtles before.
So we totally forgot the best aberration in the book. I totally forgot that flump counts as an aberration. We all should live there.
Oh, that was my answer for the dumbest.
At least Robert's honest.
The best one.
I took a flump for
I had a
a
GM that did flumps that were like hopped up on anger shroom dust, and like they were killing players. It was amazing.
We talking about getting high in the game, kind of on a change of direction. We were playing in I was in a 4E game, a long-term 4E game, and we were sitting there, and we were getting drunk, and we were drinking hallucinogenic beer. So I failed my stamina check first because I'm the freaking druid. I don't have endurance as a trained skill. So I pass out. The paladin, he's playing a cavalier actually, but anyways, he winds up drinking himself into a stupor, and he has an immortal fear of pixies. And he's getting trashed on this, and as he's slowly getting more and more trashed because he keeps saving versus his endurance, he starts imagining pixies assaulting him all over the place. He's running around this barracks chow hall screaming about pixies attacking him. And then he finally passes out, and he dreams that he's being assaulted by pixies, so he's like twitching in his sleep. It was probably one of the most classic things I've ever had happen to me in a game, because my character woke up entangled in the chandelier. Somehow.
The hell?
I told you it was hallucinogenic beer. I don't know. I was too blasted to know. I was playing a Thri-Kreen drunk. It was awesome. That game had some fun moments. We got stuck in a king's chamber in that game, and as we're sitting there stuck in the king's chamber, we suddenly feel I feel the ominous feeling we're about to get murdered, because these guys they're exuding the feeling that they're going to hurt us. I shift into bear form. The paladin grabs on, gets on my back, and we ride out of the king's chambers, leaving the rest of the party there. So all the people in town see is the king's main hall bust open as a brown bear comes running out with a paladin on its back. Robert, you're shaking your head at that, man. Come on. You wouldn't have done that.
Let's kick it over to Joe. Joe, what do you think is the dumbest creature?
I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this, but I actually hate goblins.
No flack here. I started switching to bugbears and gnolls for that very reason.
I think they're annoying to play. I think they're annoying to fight. I think they're just I just want to get rid of them, all of them. I don't even want to see another goblin for the rest of my life.
What about a psionic goblin, though?
Yeah.
So it sounds like Joe needs to play in We Be Goblins.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay, Forge, how about you, sir? What do you think? What's the dumbest creature?
Dumbest creature? I can't argue with goblins. I think they're way up there. Flump is up there as well. Both those two. I do also have an answer for the aberration question.
Okay.
This one's very specific. In the City of Greyhawk box set, there is a beholder that is classified as chaotically confused as an NPC in that box set that he got in between two wizards that were having a wizard duel, and it changed his alignment to chaotically confused. That is my all-time favorite aberration.
That is an amazing aberration, though.
I was gonna say I don't remember all of the fluff material that went with him, but I remember reading like his little fluff entry about how to RP him, and it was just ridiculous.
Yep.
It's like change the topic constantly.
Yeah, chaotically confused. Great thing.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I'll tell you the most broken monster right now is pixies. All I have to say is the next time somebody plays a druid in my game, they're immediately being warned, conjure woodland beings does not conjure freaking pixies. I'm sorry, no creature that can cast 4th level spells should ever be a CR 1/4. Ever. Anyone disagree?
Chaotically confused.
That's an amazing thing.
What if you had a cleric, a dual class cleric wizard who was chaotically confused?
It'd be worse than a wild mage.
That would be funny as hell.
Did anyone
slinging
ever
all kind of crazy spells around? They casting cleric spells and wizard spells.
did anyone ever play the wild mage from 2E from the Tome of Magic?
No, I didn't.
Oh my god.
I did, but it's been a long time. I remember that the charts were pretty brutal.
Yeah, they were hilarious.
You ended up with stuff that was either kind of good.
Well, Chris, you're in shape. I could actually read from it. So
I was gonna say, from what I remember, it was like they were good, they were neutral and full of fluff, and that was the majority of the chart. And then there was the crap, we might die from this guy throwing spells around section.
Okay, here we go. Okay, Wild Mage, Wild Surge results. Okay, Wall of Force appears in front of caster. Because that doesn't totally screw you. Caster shoots forth 8 non-poisonous stakes from fingertips. Let's see. Going through here trying to... Oh, caster polymorphs randomly. Reversed tongues affects all within 60 feet of the caster. Nobody can understand anyone. Oh, let's see. Caster ages 10 years. This would be nice to have happen because you make yourself rich if you got it a lot of times. 3 through 30 gems shoot from caster's fingertips. Each gem is worth 1d6 times 10 gold.
I make it rain, I make it rain, I make it rain.
Monster summoning 2 randomly. Caster and target exchange voices until a remove curse is cast. All magical items within 60 foot of the caster glow for 2d8 days. How about this one? 1,000 pounds of non-living matter within 10 foot of the target vanishes. Just disturbing. Rust monster appears in front of the target.
That sounds like it would need another random roll for the 1,000 pounds that disappear.
This is just. How about stinking cloud random? Oh no! Target changes sex. Target turns ethereal. Target sprouts leaves. Target sprouts new useless appendage, which remains until the spell magic is cast. Target changes color.
Do they have anything about like nipple elongation?
No, this isn't fatal, for God's sake. But no, the Wild Surge table is just disgusting. And then on top of it, whenever you cast a spell, you have to roll on a table to see how much the level of the spell actually fluctuates. So if you're casting a 3rd level spell, it can either function as a 0 level spell or up to like a 9th level spell, a 6th or a 9th level spell. It's ridiculous. So you can cast a fireball, a regular fireball, as if you were a caster level, a normal caster level, and it'll cast as a 6th level, or as if you were 3 or 4 levels higher than that. So, which makes it interesting when you're like, okay, I'm going to fireball the room, and it goes up 4 levels and kills 2 of your party members. Wild mages, gotta love them. They're so much scarier in 2nd edition than they are in 5th. 5th edition, most of the surges are kind of harmless. 2nd edition,
Looks
they
like
actually messed you up.
Looking up some stuff. You were looking up that beholder?
Yeah, I was digging through my City of Greyhawk box set trying to find him, but I give up. I can't find him. But I know he's in there somewhere.
I would definitely love the stats on that crazy motherfucker.
If you guys want to see how ridiculous the level variation table is, I don't know how well you can see it. That's the level variation table that you have to roll on every time you cast a spell. It's obscene. You roll a d20, and then you count your true level between 1 and 9, pretty much. And then in whatever you roll, it varies. And certain rolls give you wild surges rather than like a critical failure. Oh, so much fun. I'm just glad I have a hard copy of the Complete Book of Elves so I can play Blade Singers.
Oh, I missed them, man. They were fucking awesome.
They were disgustingly broken in second edition, but I miss them so much.
Yeah, third edition, they didn't get much better. I mean, it was pretty easy that once you touched Blade Singer levels, you could have like a 60-something armor class without really trying, and that would be permanent.
Is this time to tell you that I had a Shadowcaster with a 63? And 172 hit points?
I was gonna say, if it's third edition, it's completely plausible.
3x, yes. And he had 172 hit points. He was a lich, and he had a 63 armor class. He paralyzed a paladin one time, and we sold the paladin while he was paralyzed to a succubi because we hated the player.
I think Chelsea, did you get a chance to go? Say what was the dumbest creature?
Dumbest creature?
Yeah, dumbest creature. What just like? Okay, that's just so stupid.
Wait, Chihuahua. I have no idea, honestly. I haven't really came across anything that I thought was particularly stupid.
Oh, you will.
Kobold. Kobold swarms.
You know what? I do have an answer. I don't like ordinary bad guys. I like them to be special some way, somehow. So it's not so much the creature itself, it's the story behind it that matters to me.
Oh, so like if you fight a bandit, that's like, okay, that sucks. It's got to be a bandit that wears a fedora and used to run a whorehouse. Then it'd be cool.
Yeah, totally.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Or a schizophrenic who collects spoons, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Next logical monster question. We've gone best, and dumbest. So
actually, wait a minute, Kyle. Joe, we haven't roasted Chelsea.
Not.
We can talk about monsters. It's cool.
No, we gotta roast you.
I haven't given my least favorite monster either.
Yeah,
That's right.
see, we have to go to him.
All right. Well, we'll quickly do his and my least favorite monsters because I also didn't do it. And then we're gonna grill Chelsea.
So dinosaurs. I fucking hate when dinosaurs randomly show up with no logical reason, especially plesiosaurs and megalodons. Like, every GM wants to throw them bastards in their lakes and stuff, and it's like, can't it just be a lake? It's bad enough that I might have to do underwater combat. Why did you pick the most powerful underwater combatant for me to fight?
Is it worse to get one of them in the water than it is a random T-Rex in the forest?
Yeah, it's worse in the water, because then you have all the underwater combat stuff to deal with. At least 5th edition cleaned that up a little bit, but I remember, like, in Pathfinder in 3.5, a plesiosaur would just wreck you. It's instant kill, no matter what your level is, pretty much.
All right, and then my least favorite monster. I guess I'm gonna have to go with. God, I don't even. 1 second.
Well, I have an addition while you're thinking. And I
Okay.
don't want to take so much shit for this, but I don't care. Fucking gelatinous cubes. Fucking dumb.
No. Honestly, I might take I may take flack for actually my least favorite monster is actually rust monsters. I think they're so retardedly overpowered.
If you say my absolute least favorite isn't technically a monster. It's fucking halflings. Screw those bastards.
So are you okay with Kinder? Are you okay with Kinder?
They're all basically the same. Like, Kinder, I find a little bit more appreciable because they have some lore that I think is worthwhile there. Like, halflings for being it's like they added them because they needed a short guy in the lineup. Like, there's no real logical reasoning for halflings to exist.
Well, they're just hobbits, man.
Yeah, put gnomes in there then too.
Well, gnomes, depending on your setting, do have some flavor, so that's why I value gnomes a little bit higher than halflings. But yeah, short for being short bothers me.
I'm going to cry a little inside here. I can't find Runes of Undermountain for cheap. Somebody want to sell it to me? I need it.
Not for cheap.
I just paid $68 for Birthright, so I just don't want to pay $70 for it. It's ridiculous. Because Undermountain's I want to convert Undermountain to 5e.
Okay, it's grilling time. Dun dun dun.
Is that where we're going with this next?
I don't know.
The hit knives aren't going to get me out of it?
No.
Damn it.
No. Actually, that puts you in the actually hotter fire.
We have to give her an additional question. So my least favorite monster is Monstrous Centipede, by the way.
Monstrous Centipede. Nice.
I'm like, how much bigger can you actually make a monstrous centipede that it's a threat? Like, I don't understand why it's meant to be a challenge, right?
Just because. That's the only reason behind just because.
If you're gonna throw a monstrous centipede at him, just go the full bore and throw a freaking purple worm at him.
So after this, I'm going to go back and take a catalog of all of our least favorite things, build a dungeon that's just full of those, and it's just going to be a hack and slash fest of killing your least favorite things.
Or we're just gonna die horribly because some of the least favorite things are killer.
The last room of the dungeon is
Duck Bunny.
all flumps.
A whole army of flumps.
An army of fluffs and one buff caster in there.
Oh man.
Who happens to have hallucinogenic roid rage or something? I don't know.
Okay, get the spatulas ready. It's time for some grilling. Oh yeah. Yep, go ahead and drink that pop. Cool your ass off. It's just finna get hot in there.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna bypass the puppy dog eyes, like said, kitten eyes. They just make me angry.
Right?
So we're just gonna go right into this, Chelsea. I mean, there are simple questions, but you do have to pass the actual grilling session, and if you don't, you are not able to ask us any questions. So feel free to make sure that you answer, to the best of your ability, and we'll see how it goes. So, first question for you is, and this is your space to introduce yourself to the community and to the panel that we have here. First question is, number one, what got you into D&D or tabletop gaming?
I've answered this somewhere before, actually. A buddy of mine, a gamer buddy, I play a lot of online video games, and he introduced me to it, and he was basically like, why don't you come try the last thing you haven't tried? And I was like, that's a good idea, I should do that. And then I did.
And now you hate him for it.
No, actually, it was just
Okay.
yesterday I thanked him. I was like, I can't wait for your moving process to get over so that we can play together.
So she's now like the rest of us. She has a money sink.
Yeah, I dropped 150 last pay.
I dropped 120 on 2 box sets.
Wow. All right, so we're going to move to question number 2. Do you consider yourself a DM, a player, or a content provider? Or any or all of the above?
Stupid case.
Well, I have a YouTube channel, but I don't really consider myself a content provider. I consider it if you missed it and you want to look at it, go ahead. So that's kind of what that is. I'm really, really new to DMing. I'm really, really new to tabletop in general, but I think I've kind of soaked everything up like a sponge. Or at least I'm trying to soak everything up like a sponge and just take in as many different systems as I can. And mostly as far as DMing 5e, but as far as playing, I'm interested in a lot of different systems.
Cool. Well, we definitely have the panel here of people who have played a lot of different systems, so obviously you know some of them, but try to get to know the rest of them because I'm sure they can help you with all of that. And the next question is something that, again, feel free to tell a story with it, and if you're willing to share. The question is your best experience in role-playing or tabletop gaming.
That one's easy. So I was playing a Pathfinder game, and without meaning to, I became the comic relief. Um, and I was playing a desert kitsune with a camel companion, ranger class. And we were walking through town and everything was fine, and we get to the tavern, and my character desperately wanted her camel to come inside with her. They were inseparable. And basically it turned into this giant ordeal to get the camel through the door with strength checks, and like the owner of the tavern was like getting really upset and like trying to saw the door apart, and like it went through this whole process, and finally we get the camel through, and like they drag a bed down the stairs and put it in the corner for us, and we basically through the night, I had to make a roll check, and when we woke up in the morning, I had the front part of the bed had broken down. I had flipped over the top of the camel and was laying on top of a table with like my legs still on the camel or something like that, like just like completely sprawled out. And in the midst of the night, we had also raided the tavern kitchen.
Kat, how's your litter box over here?
Well, that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Well, we're going to move on to our last question so we can get you served up to the rest of the community and pass you on as the seasoned grill that you are. The question is, and I like to offer, the suggestion to be philosophical with it because it is kind of an open-ended question. The last question is, why do you game?
I don't like answering this question. Well, I only game online. And that is mostly because I don't really interact with people in real life. So this is where I get my social interactions from.
Okay. Have you found that and this is going to be, I guess, a personal question. I hope you don't mind too much.
It's
Have you found the online gaming that you've done, has it helped any of the in-person interaction? Has that helped out with that kind of difficulty, or?
Well, I've been struggling with it since I was really young, and that's kind of how I got into gaming really, really young, was because my brother kind of knew what was going on with me, and he dragged me onto the Xbox community. And I did that for a really long time and actually went really far with it. And then I kind of shifted focus to computers as I got older, and the more I got into computers, the more I got into the more like heavy kind of games, like the stuff you can get addicted to, like World of Warcraft and Diablo 3, StarCraft, League of Legends, Dota, anything you can think of. I've probably played it, honestly. And that transitioned into the tabletop RPG. As far as if it helped, I would say that it depends on which community you're in. There are some really great communities out there for video games. There are some really bad ones. As far as RPG community, I have not met a person I did not like. No, I'm going to reframe that. I have not met a person that I will not talk to.
Gotcha.
And everybody that interacts with me is really super accepting and understanding, and those that I do divulge personal information to are really, really polite about it.
Cool. And I appreciate you divulging personal information with us and it's telling your stories and everything. I do feel that this is going to sound really, I don't know how I'm going to say this. So I do feel that there is this separation between video gaming communities and the role-playing tabletop D&D communities, however you want to describe them, separate them a little bit. And there's something to be said with the fact that as we all probably know, that doing the D&D role-play tabletop stuff, from a broader perspective and a broader view of society, oh, look at those nerds, they're sitting around the table. And now that video games have become very, very popular, it's not, oh, look at that nerd, he plays Call of Duty. It's, oh, look at that jock, I really want to play, Call of Duty because this guy's killing a bunch of people. And I think some of those attitudes have made it where the D&D roleplay tabletop community, however you wanted to describe it, tries to encourage other people to join their community and say, hey, be a part of this. Hey, this is something creative that we're all doing together. We're sharing this thing. It's not just nerds sitting around the table. It's actually a bunch of people that are enjoying the time that they're having playing with each other. Whereas in certain portions of the video game community, you have people who are trying to be the alpha males in a video game, or trying to be, oh, look at me, I'm so much better because I can press a button faster than you. And some of that idea seems really ridiculous to me, but I feel like some of those attitudes, and I know that you've shared some of those experiences, saying that you had difficulties with some of them. I don't know if there's a correlation to that, but I do feel there's some attitude differences, and I think that has something to do with it, and some of the experiences that you've had and other people had separating them. I think that's a big portion of it.
Well, I think one of the big differences is in, I'm not going to say all video games, but probably a very, very large portion of video games, you can be competitive at them, even if it's a solo game. It's, well, I speed cleared this faster than you did. There's some nature and level of competitiveness to it, which pits people versus people in some way or another, whereas in the tabletop community, it's not about competing with each other, it's about competing together.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and that's the whole idea of bringing people together rather than pushing people away. And
yeah.
I think that brings a good community in front of you, and I think that's pretty awesome. So that's my 2 cents on it, I guess. I don't know if that opens up a larger conversation or not, but regardless, Chelsea, you have passed our grilling session. I appreciate taking the time for your sharing and everything. So now you also win the amazing awesomeness prize of being able to ask us questions. So if you have any questions that you want to pass on to the panel, the community, enter into chat however you'd like to do this. If you do have a question that you would like everyone to answer, please feel free to take the stage and call out direction, like follow people left to right to answer, that kind of thing. It's pretty much an open forum in that manner. So if you've got something, go for it. If not, we can continue with the rest of our normally scheduled programming, which is us just babbling and talking anyways.
Okay, so I'm going to be silly for 2 seconds and then we can continue on. My only question for everybody in the Google Hangout is, will you be my friend? And then we can move on.
Well, you get to give directions, so start left to right or however you want to do it.
Okay, I'm going to ask Robert, because he's the first one on my list.
Yes.
Yeah. Can't believe I'm going to go down the list and do this, Kyle. Do you want to be my friend? You can say no.
I don't think he's caught on that he's been muted.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I was looking over Burning Wheel stuff, so... No, I'm friends with everyone until they give me a reason not to like them, so...
Okay.
I'm serious. I'm
Joe
so easy to get along with.
Does Joe want to be my friend?
Well, I believe now that you've passed the grilling session, I suppose in that case I do have the ability to say, yes, of course, I'd be your friend.
Alright, what about Forged?
I've done crazier things in my life. Why not?
Alright, I'm making all kinds of friends. I'm gonna skip Chris, he doesn't count. No, I'm kidding. Chris.
Friend is such a strong word. Can I be like non-touching acquaintance?
Yeah, we can go with acquaintances.
Okay.
Cool.
Alright, cool.
Dice&Decks.
So my friendships are purely ones that are beneficial. So can we be friends with benefits?
I'm gonna have to turn down your application and move right on over to Dan. If
What?
Dan's there.
What?
Do you want to be my friend? I can't believe I'm going down the list and asking this. This is mortifying. This is like every
I guess.
socially insecure person's worst nightmare. Like walking up to somebody and being like, "Do you want to be my friend?" What
I guess as long as you accept Brennan's friendship.
As long as I accept who?
Dice and Deck.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna have to think about that.
We can discuss the specific benefits later.
Goodness.
You may get lucky. He may just mean that you have to like run a game on with the Dice and Decks crew.
Yeah, and we roll on a random table, so the worst that could happen is random. So.
What about you, Chris? Do you want to be my friend?
Well, I'm already the secret boyfriend from the
Oh,
Hangout.
that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
so
Chris is already.
I'm already in there.
That's right.
Y'all gotta compete against me. Y'all gotta knock me off my podium. And I ain't going down without a fight.
Oh, and Alan joined in. Hi, Alan. Alan.
Do you want to be her friend?
Do you want to be my friend? No. Do you want to be my bestest friend?
Whoa! What? The newbie gets the best title?
This just hurts.
She has to think about this.
Now you're gonna bring competition into this group that I love you so much.
That's it. I want the title of bestest.
Oh yeah, looky there. He got some badge on and everything.
Yeah, but it's the best friend that stays in that friend zone. At least I have a chance with benefits, even if it is on a random table.
Hey, all else fails, you can always pull the 1E hooker table, man. 12 Harlots to D&D.
What do you mean if all else fails? That was the go-to table.
Not the only way I'm getting lucky right now.
I apologize for this silly interruption. Please resume the serious subjects.
It's fine.
All right, Robert.
Robert dropped.
You said he had to go.
I saw that.
Robert left.
Honestly, Chelsea, you were talking about running different games, and I'll pose the same question I kind of pose to everyone when they ask that question. What kind of games do you like to play?
Games do I like to play? I said this before, and I'm going to stick to my guns on this one. I like everything that isn't futuristic.
Okay. The reason I ask that, it helps to narrow down if people want to get types of games or new games to play. It helps to know what you want to play, because obviously throwing Traveler at you is not going to work because it's a space opera game. But 7th Sea might be right up your alley, because it's swashbuckling, pirates, magic.
Right, I was gonna say, if someone's throwing around 7th Sea, I'm joining that list too.
Woohoo! Another 7th
Oh
Sea.
man, it's such a good game.
Love 7th Sea. I love 7th Sea. One of my favorite games. It's actually on my shelf behind me. I love that game. I have all the PDFs too, but I've got the Crystal Keep stuff for it, which makes me happy. Like the scrolls, the sword. Go ahead.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I kind of have to. I just looked at the time. I didn't realize it was already midnight. So I work in the morning. Joe works in the morning. Dan works in the morning. So we gotta wrap up the call here. But before I do want to say we do give everyone the opportunity to do shout-outs. Alan, I don't know if you have a microphone or if you can just type the response here. But we'd like to have you on the call again on Saturday if you're able. Otherwise, again, next Tuesday. It is Tuesday, right?
Yes, that's
right. Well, it's Wednesday now. But anywho, yeah, we do it every Tuesday and Saturday, and we want to make sure we get the opportunity to grill you. Would you be down for that, Alan? You can type the reply in chat. Awesome. Cool. For those of you who haven't subbed us on YouTube, please do that. If you want to join the Dice and Decks group on Facebook, feel free to do that as well. We'd love to have you guys. For anyone who wants to, continue this conversation, obviously feel free to throw up your own after-hours hangout, and we can even continue it again right where we left off, either on Saturday or Tuesday, as you guys are able. Joe, do you have any specific order you want to have them do the shout-outs in?
We can just go left to right.
Barker, you're too late. Get out.
Of
No.
course, Parker shows up at the last few seconds.
Right. It's okay. It's okay.
Well, actually, we're all close in this because he showed up. I don't know about y'all, but
Yeah.
Right, Robert came in. Everybody get out. Hurry up, go.
Let's leave, quick. All right. So,
I
Barker.
don't even know like half of you people. Why do you hate me so much?
No, we love you. We love you.
But we know you.
Some of the guys have to go to work.
We've heard rumors. We've heard rumors.
Don't. Yeah.
This
not
is
that we
what happens when you become YouTube famous.
Exactly.
It's not that we hate you, Barker. It's that we just kind of wish ill towards you.
I know you hate me because of my Star Wars preferences. I know
No.
you hate me.
I don't hate you. Different strokes, different folks, man.
hey, at least I'm
And
not
I
the
kind of
one
wish you to have a stroke, but that's okay.
At least I'm
Hey.
not the only
I
one
was
with
waiting
a
for it.
background.
Sorry about that, Chris. That was
Oh, man.
way out, man. Didn't mean
That was too far. How dare
I
you?
didn't. I wasn't thinking about that. Sorry, Chris, man. That was just,
No, it was funny, but it was so harsh.
yeah, no. That was done without thinking.
So, Barker, have you been on the call before? I don't believe so, but I don't remember.
What?
Have you been on a call with us before or no?
Where's the live
I've been on a call with a few people here, but I do not believe I've ever been on any one of Chelsea's Hangouts, and I think that's what this is.
No, this is no.
Psych, just kidding.
Yep, this is Dice&Decks Hangout.
No, then I've definitely never. No, the answer's no.
Awesome. No, that's all right. So what we do, I guess it might be similar to what Chelsea does. I'm not entirely certain because I have not been able to join Chelsea's thing, although I have an invite for the next one, so that's exciting. But anyhow, we grill people, and then we talk about nerd things and whatnot. Oh, whatever, Dan, you're just jealous. But we'd like to have you on for the next session, either on Saturday or Tuesday, if you're able. We do it at 8:30 p.m. We start at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we go until whenever.
I'm sorry. Are you guys ending right now?
Yeah, sort of.
I don't think you understand. I'm Barker. You can't just end when I'm just kidding.
Sure they can.
This is exactly why it's ending.
I know. Yeah. Oh shit, guys.
Damn it! He proved the rumors true.
Somebody get here. Oh, come on. Okay, yeah. Well, I was happy to spend like 7 seconds with you guys. It was nice.
Joe, would you like to go for another like 8 minutes or something?
No, don't do that.
I mean,
keep doing what you're gonna do, Joe. Don't cater to the masses.
I mean, it's what the question was what I like to, and that answer is hell no. But as a responsibility to the community, and as a responsibility to the people that I want to share my love of gaming with, yes, I can stay up for another 8 minutes.
All right. Well, then here's the rule. We're going to grill these newbies so then they can decide if they want to continue on with this like on Tuesday or Saturday, all right? Is that cool with everyone?
That's fine.
All right. So, Barker, good job walking in here. Alan, I guess that means we get to grill you tonight too. I'm assuming no mic, Alan, is that right?
I see a picture.
Okay. No worries. So Joe typed the questions in chat for Alan, and you can just type your reply in chat, and then we'll read them. But we'll go ahead and grill Barker first because he's Barker after all.
See, Barker, look what you.
Can I just say that I'm a school teacher? Like I teach middle school, and I got like annoyed by kids today. Like I'm such a normal person.
Define normal.
Underpaid.
There you
I
go.
was gonna say, you say annoyed by kids. Are like your kids watching your YouTube game and now coming to you like you're YouTube famous?
Oh my gosh. No. We were listening to a. Is that a real question? Do you want me to answer that?
Dad, why is my teacher Mr. Barker talking about us annoying him, Daddy?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm never going to his channel again.
Yeah, what a jerk.
All right.
So wait, you're grilling me. So what do I have to do?
Yeah,
I'm so
Joe.
new to this. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm all awake now.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Joe.
So here's the spiel. Basically, we ask you questions. Basically, you answer them, and basically, you can ask us questions when we're done.
Sweet. Okay, cool.
This is the 8-minute. This is the 8-minute rendition.
Okay, nice. All right.
So the questions are: first question is, what got you into D&D or tabletop gaming?
My first game was a werewolf game, but we never really played. We just made characters, and I was in middle school, and I just got fascinated with making characters to the point where I kind of subconsciously learned what role-playing was. But one time I was in the comic book store, and I saw the 3rd edition Player's Handbook on a shelf, and it's so weird. It's really difficult to explain, but I had no idea what role-playing was at that time. Very little idea. And I had very little to no idea what D&D was. But I knew, looking at this book, that this book was what I needed. It's so weird verbalizing this. But then I bought it, and it was just like the beginning of the end, so to speak.
Nice. Alan is actually answering these as well in the chat, so as long as he keeps up time-wise, I will actually read his answers in between the asking the question. So Alan was asked the same question, and it was what got you into D&D or tabletop gaming. His answer is he's been reading D&D books since he was like 10 years old, but was never able to put together a group until a couple of years ago. So even though he's a veteran in one sense, he's also relatively new to the hobby. So it's something where he's been able to at least spend time reading and studying up, and now he's finally got a chance to actually partake in the role playing, which is awesome. I mean, we have new players that come on our channel, we have old players that come on the channel, not age old, experienced in the D&D world. So I really appreciate everybody sharing their time and coming and hanging out with us. So next question is, do you consider yourself a DM, a player, or a content provider? And Barker, will go to you first, then I'll read Alan's question or Alan's answer again.
DM, because like a lot of people, I was a DM because no one else in my group wanted to be. So, I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only person that's felt that way. It's kind of like you're in a group of like 3 or 4 people, and everyone's like, I don't really want to do it. And you're like, well, I want to play, so I'm going to do it. And so I was always the dungeon master. I'm also a player now, which is cool. More recently, I've become more of a player. Content provider, I would not consider myself a content provider at all. I think I would like to like publish some stuff eventually, but I don't have the patience to sit down and type something up. That's just not how my brain works. My brain is not it's not organized like a filing cabinet. It's organized more like a toy box.
All right. So Alan's answer to that is that he is a player currently, and he is working on the DMing, but he feels that the abilities of multitasking and spontaneous thinking is as far as coming up with a story on the fly is something that he's working on. So I'm reading the chat stuff too. But next question is the third question in our grilling session. We're getting over halfway done here. Next question is best experience in role-playing or tabletop gaming. Something that you'd like to share, story, and experience, that kind of thing.
Best experience in role-playing or tabletop gaming. I don't know if this is the best experience, but it's definitely the first one that came to my mind, so I'm just going to go with it so I don't take up too much time. The first game I ever played, one of the encounters, one of the adventures happened in a cavern, and it was my buddy's mother was the DM, and I remember this is my first time playing, so I'm totally like kind of testing the lines, like what can I do, what can't I do, and I remember I said, I shout echo into the cavern, and she's totally original D&D DM, so she was like, okay, you hear the cavern start collapsing and stuff like that. And I said, no, never mind, I don't do that. And she was cool, so she's like, okay, never mind, that doesn't happen. But at that moment, I realized, oh my gosh, like you can do anything in this game. Like this is like when I played football in the backyard as a little kid, the professional extent of that is the NFL. When I played pretend in the backyard with my friends as a kid, the professional extent to that is this game. And I was just like, oh my god, this is totally for me. It was an exciting exercise. So I think that would probably, at least at this point, be my favorite part of the game, or my favorite time.
Excellent. Alan had an answer for best experience, and he says the best experience that he's had so far is with the home group that he's playing with his sister's boyfriend and several of his friends. And he said it's heavy role-playing, and there's a lot of chaos and fun. And I think when you get into the role-playing, that's where a lot of that comes from, because you can just kind of go, like Barker was saying, you can do whatever you want. You can have any adventures you want, and that adds to the fun and the chaos. So, last question, and we're going to finish you guys up and plate you and then serve you out to the rest of the community. Feel free to be philosophical with this one if you wish. It's kind of an open-ended question. So the last question is, why do you game?
Are we starting with Barker?
We absolutely are.
I have a lot of creative outlets, and like music is one of my creative outlets, but it's not like a positive one. A lot of times people who know me and know that I'm like a positive person, they'll listen to my music and be like, dude, are you okay? Like, are you, like, do you need to talk to me or something? Like, I have a gaming outlet and a music outlet, and I have a crafting outlet and a teaching outlet, and sometimes I get confused. Like, I don't know which is my outlet and which is me, But it's all part of this same picture where if I don't kind of emerge from myself and do something that I want to do, then I'll explode. So that's why I game, because that's just one of those things.
Excellent. And Alan's answer is, I think, the answer that most people think of, absolutely, myself included. He games because it's fun. He enjoys the experience. Obviously, enjoys the role playing with his friends and family. And I think as much as it's the simple answer, it's also, to me, the best answer. If you're not having fun doing it, then find something else to do. And if we all have fun role playing, then that's why we do it, and I enjoy that because that's what I like to do. So we're all finished. You got them plated up, got them served up to the community. Normally, the prize would be you get to ask us questions, but we're all going to bed, so screw y'all.
Thank you. Come again.
Next time, damn you.
Thank you. Come again.
So no, that's what we do. We open the forum for people to talk about what we all love to do, and that's pretty much how this all started. And I want to thank everybody for being on the show and having a good time. And apologize that there are other responsibilities in life. I have to pay for my internet to be able to have internet to do these things. So I know it sucks, but that's kind of how it goes. I'm just gonna go ahead and shout out to no one in particular because I've been rambling and I got nothing to say. So everybody have a good night. I will pass it on to anybody else that has shout outs, but I am going to peace out and catch y'all. I think we're going to do something possibly on Thursday, and then definitely on Saturday we'll have another hangout for people if they want to join us. Feel free to check us out, and I will see y'all later.
I'll go ahead and give a little bit more direction than the absolute chaos he left it in. Goodbye, Joe. Have a good night,
guys. I'm tired. Have a good night. Going to bed.
Hi, guys.
So we'll go ahead and do, Dan, his shout out is to his bed. Good night, Dan. All right. We'll just go starting from right to left from my cam. So that's going to be Kyle. If you have any shout outs, go ahead and make them here, sir.
I honestly don't have any.
How can we find you?
which way do you want to find me? You can find me on my blog. You can find me on Facebook. I've got a page there. I've got a podcast that we're starting. So there's about 14 different ways. The blog is legacygamemastering.wordpress.com. The Facebook page is facebook.com/legacygamemastering. Or you can just go to the blog and like us directly from the blog. So, and you can find us on Twitter through the blog. So.
See, look at that. 3 shout-outs. Nice job, Kyle.
I will find you, and I will game with you.
Please don't. Love you, Barker.
What are you wearing? All right. That's going to be you, Forged at the Table.
You can find me on YouTube at Forged at the Table. There's absolutely no content, but I will promise that when there is content, it will be low quality and low production values.
Hell yeah.
Sweet. And will there be heavy editing?
No. I can't even cut paper. You're going to expect me to cut digital film? Hell no.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. All right. Let's see. We've got Mr. Chris Drop Dice Wilhelm.
All right, so on Facebook, I'm Chris Wilhelm. I also run the channel Drop Dice on YouTube. I have Twitter, Pinterest, Google+, all under Drop Dice, and then the blog channel is, or the blog website is dropdice.blogspot.com. I am one of those kind of low-budget providers on YouTube. I learned how to splice in a theme song and an outro song, but that's about as much as I've gotten so far. So expect that same whopping caliber of video from me as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris. Nighthag, that's you, friendy.
Oh, yay, that's me. Wait, I thought our friendship was under negotiation.
Oh, no, we're friends. We just have to roll for benefits yet.
Alright. I'm just me. Don't worry about it. Yay.
Nice. Thanks, DM Nighthag. You can find her at dmnighthag.youtube.com. Just kidding. I think it's just YouTube. Type in DM Nighthag. All right. Chris, the fat something. I didn't read the whole thing. Go ahead. How do we find you, Chris?
That's just a name that I've been going by for years, Fat Ninja. But since I'm doing another role-playing thing, now it's Fat Ninja DM. Of course, you can find me. Just see right here, Facebook group, RPG Realm Changers. I run a 5e campaign on Saturdays. Chepe wants to get in on another campaign. Not necessarily through Fantasy Grounds. It can be a mixture of Fantasy Grounds or other, varying types of media. I am looking for players, possibly for a Tuesday night group or maybe a Friday night group. So if you want to sign up and join the little band of merry, crazy ass men and women, like I said, down here, get a hold of me. Love having fun, talking mess, role playing with different varying people. I just encourage new players, old players, just come on out, have some fun. I don't have any content yet, but it will probably be the stellar low quality of the others. So look forward for that.
Nice. All right. That is to you, Mr. Barker.
Cool. I'm going to give a shout out to King Leonidas of the Spartans, who reigned approximately about 480 BC. He led his 300 Spartans and some allies to defend in Thermopylae against tons and tons of Persians. Some say 5 million, probably not that many, but tons, and basically saved the Western world. So shout out, brother, wherever you are.
Yes, Sparta. Okay, no, it's not. But that's my attempt. How do we find you? You have any content or anything?
I would say that, let's take a look around here. Let's see. I am super impressed with this person, DM Nighthag, who has really jumped into the one-shot group and has just exploded with not only content but bringing the community together. So I'm going to shout that person out. I'm also going to shout out Dice&Decks, who, as of recently, has started hosting these kind of hangouts, apparently to what is it? Grill people, which I think is awesome because I love people talking with people. And Fat Ninja DM, one of my favorite dudes online that I have never seen, never talked to, never hung out before. And I'm just going to give a shout out to that person. Those three people, forget me, just go watch their content.
Nice. Of course, that is Be a Better Game Master. And then Alan, I believe he said that his shout out is that he doesn't have any money, but he does have a loaded set of dice. So he's looking for groups to play in as long as you allow loaded dice. And of course, I would like to shout out to everybody on the call tonight. So thank you for being here. Thank you for joining the conversation. That's our tagline. And oh, I'm sorry. Is there something you wanted to shout out separately, Alan?
He's got no mic.
Okay, yeah, no, I know. I was waiting for the text response. But anyhow, you can find us, of course, on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook, or we'll find you, and we'll drag you into one of these things.
We'll find you.
That's right. Willing or
That
not.
wasn't creepy at all.
I'll send Barker in.
We will find you and grill you.
See? Now we've got two taskmasters.
Nice.
All right, guys. Thanks very much for joining the conversation.
See ya.
Dice&Decks, signing out.
Take it easy.
Thanks, man.